Greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, here to share some entertainment, some space, and we'll just see where the stream goes. I fell behind in my patterns and didn't even recognize the chat when we were starting up. Those who swung through, God bless. Thank you. Thank you all. Greetings, fellow Talcottians. I feel good. I feel good addressing that concept. Folks who resonate with the Talcottian idea, and the Talcottian idea is just simply, man, be and let be, but be and let be with love, right? I love that. Thank you, Swittensbirds. He who wishes to secure the good of others has already secured his own. He who wishes to secure the good of others, right? So we've set that intention. We found that desire, that goal within ourselves to secure the good of others. It does. That's how the universe starts working with us to make sure that our security is available as well. Our poll, I saw this. I was curious. What was the thing from the thumbnail? I was inspired by the thumbnail, admittedly. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And each day does bring us opportunities. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. That's literally why we're here. So what are we here to learn and grow? How about our abilities to serve the world? Why not, right? Shout out to Best Buy in California. Best wishes to all of you, Lindsay included. Today, brothers and sisters, I'm having an interesting day. Again, hey, what a surprise. It seems like every time I start up. Well, that's why I'm doing this. That's right. That's part of my story. I'm doing this because I'm doing this because this is my life, man. It is kind of gay in a daytime soap opera kind of way. I can get that. I won't tell you what, if that was the fear and the concern that where's Jack going? We're turning this daytime soap opera drama. No, we ain't doing that. But the appearances, admittedly, today, admittedly, I thought I was taking the higher road. No, I won't say it like that. I'll say that I've had many creative options available for myself to choose from. And today I had it all set up. I was ready to schedule and post. And I found that the image I was using was kind of poking the dog, poking the bear, rattling the hornet's nest. I chose to focus on being peaceful, being loving. But man, within me, there's that Jack within me, the angry cot. I know there's a lot of fans of Angry Cot, and I love you guys too, but yeah, Angry Cot wants to come out. Which reminds me, for those who were here yesterday, I will address it with the people I recognize were involved. Hopefully I will. It's my intention to resolve. What I'm getting at is yesterday, again, Angry Cot showed up. Not just here, but after my stream yesterday, I ended up on her brother, The Machine Lies, and there was some guests on that panel that it allowed me an opportunity yesterday and my emotional reactions. And what I call emotional reactions is those responses where I'm not kind, calm, and loving, where the angry cot does start to rise up and the volume escalates and maybe the profanities start to fly a little more, but Brothers and sisters, we all have these opportunities for us within us every day, these emotional patterns, the reactions, or even how about the lack of actions. The reactions and lack of actions are often the result of our belief structures, and our belief structures are going to form our emotions, and the emotions are that which truly do move us. In the topic of growing in service with others, you know, from the way I see things, it makes a lot of sense. And there's so many variables, and it's all logical. I mean, logic and reasoning is honestly what drives most of my inspirations. Um, but so if you were to consider for yourself the actions of being in service to another, um, that in itself, that concept alone can take so many different variables, so many different forms and variations in what it means to be in service of another. But if we break it down pretty simply, to be in service would be in, perhaps, in cooperation with another. Because if we're doing things with others that they don't want, that's not necessarily in service, unless you're in service of the truth. And I realize as I'm speaking this and developing these thoughts, maybe I'm bringing out more confusion than answers. That's what I do within myself sometimes. I notice, I try to balance. What are the pros? What are the cons? Think that thought through. What is the next part of that cause and effect reasoning? As you go through and you look at different situations, different words, different meanings, different people, if you look at those things from different ways, you can find within yourself different perspectives. The reason we want to do that, right? Why do we want to do that? Why do we want to really consider multiple perspectives on things and events and people? What is the benefit of multiple perspectives? Obviously, you just get a more clear picture. For those who may be familiar, there's an old story about um, the blind men who encounter the elephant, and each of them feeling along discovers a different piece of the elephant, and you know the rope of the tail, and the whatever, the javelin of the tusks, the huge leaves of the ears. The blind would see different things, and it may not make sense, but when you bring in the perspectives of others, this was actually something I saw reminded recently on a panel too. Our ability to know is not simply from our own individual experience. The greatest way to learn is truly from others. We learn about ourselves through the other beings, through the creation, through the experience of life. And every one of us, me, you, every other person like us, we've got a lifetime of different experiences, different perspectives, different meanings of the things that we all encounter. And I've been trying to find within myself, how can I help? How do I find those how do I find peace in a world where there's so many different realities that are really happening? I mean, every one of us is existing in our own different reality. There's a lot of people who see the reality of today. I mean, I don't have a clear sight, but I can see out my window, the sun is shining, and I know it's a crisp and cold day today, right? I have, in my perspective at this moment, I have the comfort of shelter, of peace, of health, abundance. My refrigerator and pantry are full. I'm blessed. And I know there's others right now with a quite different reality. People who don't have the same resources and are really in actual physical struggle of life right now. I mean, I last night, well, where I live, it's the Pacific Northwest. It's very right now. There's a cold front moving in, and there's a lot of people in my community who are struggling in the cold. I know there's a lot of other people in here. I admit I did not go out and do what I might have been able to do, but there's a lot of people in the community who are working to help those people as well. But here, aside from the physical differences of this moment right now, there's many people who are just like me. And maybe some of you listening are more comparatively, right? I'm assuming if you're listening, you may not be in the fear and panic of trying to survive, trying to find shelter for the night, trying to find food for today. I assume if you're listening that you're more comparative in the abundance of resources that I am. Maybe you're better off, maybe you're worse, but the point is I'm going to assume we have physical safety today. There's a lot of people who live their lives even with the abundance, the blessings, all the security and all the needs they could require for the day. And yet those people in this same moment, similar situation, they may be in a state of panic, state of fear, because look at the news. Look at the news, man. Have you heard the forecasts about what's going on? Possible resurgence of is there a pandemic? Is there war? Is there economic collapse? Well, we don't know what's going to happen. It's a this world we're living in right now at the time we are. Holy cows, man! I really I am challenged in my own perspective. Moonlight blessings, thank you. Holy cows, is that I? It's minus 22 there. I believe it. Um, I saw there is a lot coming. Well, hell, you know what? It's just how the world is. Some days it's cold, some days it's hot, and we choose where we live to some degree. Here's what the greatest lesson, brothers and sisters, regardless of what the world brings, whether it's cold or if it's hot, we get to choose. We get to choose how we feel about it. And how we feel about that which is, it's actually pretty important. What I'm suggesting, so there's no confusion, it is important how you feel. Your feelings are important. You should, you can, you get to understand your feelings. You get to learn from your feelings. And through your feelings, you get to learn about you. I tell you what, if you want to find happiness in this world, if you want to find peace and joy in this world, you've got to know who you are. Otherwise, you're just lost. If you don't know who you are a lost child. Simple as that. And it's not your fault if you don't know who you are, because the world, praise God, we are designed so we do not immediately know who we are. It's something we grow into. It's part of the divine game, the divine design. I won't call it a plan because I don't know the intentions, but it sure seems like the perfection of the universe has been planned. It's received some thought. I mean, the way that life happens, it's a miracle we live, guys. Seriously, when I started realizing the truth, okay, there's a lot of people we throw around these words, but seriously, I have done this for myself, and I encourage you to do this your own way. Create your meanings, find your meanings. Your meanings are chosen. We can be right or we can be wrong. We get to choose. It doesn't matter. I mean, what matters is what is true. What I'm suggesting is if you want to grow in this world, you got to know who you are. And if you want to know who you are, you better be honest. You can't know a liar, can you? Can you see through the lies and see the truth that's within? Can you see beyond all the mistakes, all the judgment? Can you see beyond all the foolish human behavior? You know, the imperfect, sinful type, the type that we shouldn't be allowing. Can you look beyond, not overlook, can you look beyond the negative parts of you, parts of those around you? Can you look beyond the negative to find the good? Because if you can, that's half the battle. Might be the entirety of the battle. Because there's words that support the idea that God is the truth. And to be one with God is to receive the peace that is beyond understanding. Beyond understanding is knowing. And so when I started putting these pieces together, that literally, okay, break it down. Actually, I'm going to go in depth here. Hopefully it makes sense and I don't bring confusion. Beginning of 2018, I chose to make a change, right? I did a super inventory, a hard look, hard critical look at my life, my health, my relationships, my finances, my fulfillment, my happiness. I looked at my life, I inventoried my life, I took responsibility for my life, and I chose to change. As I chose to change, I had to figure out, what is it I want? Obviously, after the inventory and the disgust of seeing my overweight, my uh, to see the perspective of myself that I'd been denying myself accepting. I knew what I didn't like, right? And knowing what we don't like, again, that's only part of the part of the plan, part of the solution. What I didn't realize was that I could. All right, now that I know what I don't like, what do I like? What do I want? What is true for me? What is true about Jack? What do I want? What do I have? Who am I? In figuring out those answers, understanding what I want, what truly moves me, brothers and sisters, here's a tip. I suspect, I suspect this is the way the Creator designs us, that our purpose and our true gifts, they're not just given to us. I mean, sometimes they are, obviously, but the best things in life have to be earned, right? Into order to earn something, there must be an exchange, a fair exchange. And in order for a fair exchange of something of great value, there must be sacrifice. That's the whole world we are living in. But the ideas of exchange and sacrifice and fairness, all of this stuff has been redefined by society. And people have been conditioned to accept just what they're given, accept what they're told, right? You only have the options that are put on the ballot, right? You only get to choose from what you're told you can choose from. That's not freedom. That's not freedom. So in 2018, when I chose to make a change and I did an inventory of my life and I decided, okay, these are the things I don't like. What do I like? I like to be free. I like to be in charge, in control. I realized what that means. Someone who is free, someone who is in charge, in control. Well, that also means they're responsible. But what I care about is sovereignty. Now, I know the word sovereign, sovereign citizen, and all this stuff, it's taken an interesting perspective and reputation around the climate of the world. But um, sorry, my mind just totally drifted out. I looked into I glanced at the chat. Hey, no, oh, actually, Sam, yes, please. Not no. Yes, please. Sam, thank you for returning. I don't know. I mentioned yesterday, you said you'd sent an email, but I didn't see one. I didn't see an email from you. So I'm glad to see you back. I just dropped the link again for those who, or, or maybe it was this link. In that link tree link is my Instagram, Facebook, email, all that stuff. It's so I'm really easy to reach. At any rate, I appreciate you returning, and I'm happy to speak. Here to implement spankings on Daddy's behalf. Well, admittedly, this is part of whoop, no link. I'm not sure which link you mean. Tell you what, we will figure it out. Oh, that's who. Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Mus. Um, hey, actually, mods, please be aware. Let's let's not be too aggressive in the blocking. Timing out is fine for especially for short periods. Wake up the ego. Say, hey, check yourself. Um, but part of my morning today is was hearing my name discussed online, and and where my mind is at, Paul is one of many. For those who, though you guys have to know who I assume, let me not assume. For those who may not be aware, Paul Enslaved, Proper Instruction Motivates People is the name of his channel. He's been a part of this experience. Admittedly, the open panels, the idea of that format, I hadn't thought about that till I saw his. I have interest in talking to him and many others, but it's so funny. I mean, I dealt with the flying monkeys and the clowns that came over. Admittedly, I don't entirely blame him for that, but hearing my name talked about by people who don't have any actual interactions with me, and they act so confident as they disparage my name, my reputation. Praise God, man. Praise God. I trust that God will allow the truth to be known, but here's where I'm at. Here is where I'm at, sincerely. All of you who are tuning in, who are present, or even if I'm just like in the background for you, allow these seeds of thought to grow, please. Because the more I tell my story, the more confident I truly am. And it's not my story. I want to know, how do you know if you're a prophet? How do you know if the words you are saying are true? And how do you know if it comes from God? Well, for me, all things come from God, especially the truth. God is that which reveals the truth. The living truth is what we are when we are honest and authentic. So I believe what I'm trying to share, brothers and sisters, is become part of God's living truth. Move beyond the limits of your mind, your opinion, your judgment, your memories. Move beyond that into freedom. Freedom is here and now. Join me. Stand with me wherever you are in your body of freedom, with the absolute freedom to choose, the absolute freedom to choose. So join me. Choose peace. Choose love, man. Please choose love. It's time. It's time for us all to stop the fighting, right? To stop creating all of these resistances. No, I can't get along. I can't get along with that person, and I can't get along with that person. And I can't even live around that person. Brothers and sisters, here's how I'm going to solve that question regarding the prophet. It is my hope and prayers that my words become prophetic, become proven to be true, because what I believe and what I choose to believe, I accept full ownership and responsibility for what I believe, what I choose to believe. I choose to believe, brothers and sisters, that you and me and everyone we know of today, we are here to rise, to renew, to overcome, to live, to bring forth the light that is within. And as we rise and we unite together with the light that is within, particularly all those around the world who've made their dedication, maybe even gone through the traditions, done the baptism, they call themselves Christians, call themselves the way, follower of Christ in whatever religious domination it is, and even beyond just the limits of the Christian denomination. But that is where my focus is, because using just those words, those people around the world like me, men and women alive today, who have chosen to try and bring the gospel to the world, right? To follow the way of the Christ. So those who have chosen to follow Christ can actually start walking the walk, right? Take the brothers and sisters of children of God, right? If we unite together, brothers and sisters, as children of God, followers of the Christ, going out to the streets to share the good news, not through words, but through deeds, out there helping the needy, serving the poor, right? Helping those who could use a hand up, bringing solutions to the world through us. So I hope these words become prophetic, where the future does support what my belief is. But I believe we are here to become the living truth together, to represent the body of Christ here on earth, to shine the light into the darkness, and to expose the corruption, to reveal the truth so the world can become empowered. So the children right now, there's a lot of young children right now who are in fear, in pain, with a lot of uncertainty in their future. But if we can bring truth to light and we unite together, humanity, the only people in the way are the people in the way. And if we stop getting in the way of ourselves and each other, there's going to be nothing in the way. There will be nothing preventing us from empowering each other with the truth, with love, right? Because love and the truth and love, those are irreplaceable, really. Holy cows. I guess stop and check out the chat. Sorry guys, there's some interesting DMs, Instagram or Facebook. I'm usually most responsive with those. I check my email like once a day, maybe. I don't like emails, but I am pretty easily to reach, and so if folks are interested, I do hope to serve. I really do. Love is our answer. I never realized how important that used to be, how important that was. I didn't in the past. Haters gonna hate. Players gonna play. Shake it off. Shake it off. Thank you, Uncle Fatty. Thank you. That is something I wanted to remind. The Talcott Foundation for Peace. That's another thing. Maybe that can become a reality of sorts. Talcott Foundation for Peace. It can be part of the future planning department. We can bring peace into the equations. That really is what I think we need. Understanding each other teaches to love. For those who may wish to join, you are welcome to join. I'm not really bitching. And this is what's funny too. I keep listening to all these narratives about me. I'm blaming everyone and blah, blah, blah. I don't blame, man. I don't think I blame. Daddy's Flying Beta Monkey, Dr. Pool Boy John Mazzio. Wow. You're getting some good game good names going up. Um, Daddy's Little Monster Monkey, Daddy's Broken Flying Monkey, Daddy Knows Best. Fascinating. Oh, now this is hilarious. How many people truly believe that Talcott hates and Unslaved loves? Daddy's Monkey Jizz 24. Praise God, man. Yes, a whole flock. I don't know if that's what you're talking. I don't talk to my daddy. He is a mean post monkey. Huh. I don't know if that's to me or not. Holy cows. Praise God, man. Praise God. It's less than 90 days. We're getting close. Yeah, they are silly. Whoops, what is this? Tal Slave's Daddy. Help me, Daddy. I'm stuck in slavery and genocide. Well, it's because you choose to be a slave and you stay divided. When you stay divided, you stay controlled. And if you're controlled, aren't you kind of unempowered if you're controlled? It is all love, man. Hey, thank you. Flying Monkey Zealots of Daddy Oz. Mark Jones, I'm really not sure what I'm really not sure, but admittedly the numbers rose a little bit. You know, I can teach you how to keep a house with just your mouth. Tell slaves, daddy. I've been on the buying end of prostitution, but I'm not interested in trying to keep my house with just my mouth, dude. Um, I took that way wrong and not even funny. Sorry. Um, what you gonna do today, Jack? Same thing you do every day? Or are we finally changing underwear? I gave up underwear years ago, man. Daddy's little old orangutan. Holy cows, man. Flying monkey crash medic. Jack's live stream. Get your cantaloupe ready, stick it in the oven for 5 minutes, poke holes in it, and stroke with us while making eye contact, acting as if so we are doing as we do nothing. Holy cows, Talcott Express, thank you very much. I appreciate that light in the darkness. Oh no, Daddy's moist meat sleeve is getting dry. Oh no, holy cows. What on earth? Why? You do realize, I mean, while you do have anonymity and um, you know, distance, and you've got some realm of deniability, but what in the oh, the reminder as you reveal your life to others, remind you are revealing yourself. You're showing yourself. Willing to work a new pair off. Suppose now I have to join another. Oh, you know what? That's a good idea. I didn't even think of this. Oops. I forgot. Let's change that. Just to be sure, man, you know, make it a little better. Because I know there's a lot of opposition out here in the YouTube streets, and it seems pretty. It seems pretty interesting, man. I don't get it. What is this? I have an ointment. Oh, okay. Without those. Huh. Um, does anyone care to understand? Actually, no, I don't care if you understand or want to understand. Daddy's little witness, you're like absolutely delusional. If you think Paul is my daddy, you're fucking nuts. Because there's nothing there, nothing at all that's supportive. Um, the idea of service. Those who are here just to offer insults. Now, the fun I'll take with fun. Okay, I can allow. I understand. Even though it's not really my idea, I can appreciate the fun and respect that people are having fun. Hey, GG blessings. Thank you very much. Congratulations on membership and thank you very much. Hmm, maybe I will do a members only stream soon. Maybe actually some ideas. Maybe that's what I can do. I mean, I am trying to be honest and authentic. I don't want people to join paying for memberships if there's really not something there. I mean, I appreciate the intention and the loyalty or the support. That's what I'm intending. I appreciate and respect that, but I feel like I should do something. Flo does something. Welcome. Flo.
I do things.
You do things. You got the best membership deal around. Only $1.
$1. It's only $1, and you get custom emojis, access to one members only live stream I've done, the possibility, but no promises of future ones.
Well, I'm thinking maybe I could do that too.
Become a member?
I am a member.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
And actually, mine was even chosen. It wasn't a gift. I chose to be a member. See?
You know what? This is one of those things you're probably gonna be like, why the fuck you tell me? But yesterday I was trying to buy membership here, and I haven't switched over my new card yet. So I bought it, and then it kicked it back a little later, so I'll have to buy it.
Hey, it's worth
Okay, it's like
I appreciate it. Well, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what it is I'm doing, right? Because I do have a whole bunch of different directions I want to go. And then I'm wondering I've been wondering like last night, maybe I should do more of what others are doing and just focus on doing a show, doing a good show.
Well, I guess the two things are, what do you want to do, and then what is the audience want to do? Because it's like sometimes it's hard to, I don't know. People overlook their strengths, because if you're a fish, you don't notice that you're good at swimming, basically, and so people tend to jump over what really their strong suit is, because they don't even recognize it a lot. What happened?
Just Frank. Thank you.
Frank is flirting with me again.
Is he? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed the chat, dude. Well, actually, it's obvious, but a lot of the nonsense I did hear. I tuned into Paul a little bit earlier. And
How's that?
Before I started, well, I'm just hearing him talking about. Well, he made sure to encourage and congratulate Christos for his great job. And I'm
doing
like,
what?
He came over and he was a numbnut. He was a troll yesterday. So
congratulations to the male maid, the blouse wearing male maid with a stuffed giraffe.
Hey, congratulations to Sterling Ray. Thank you for that. I appreciate this. See, but Christos is another one. He's just, there's so many of these I've seen.
But Jack, who gives a fuck about him really? Like,
Oh, I
I
don't.
I don't know. Seems like it bugs you, but would you hang out with any of them in real life?
Oh yeah, I would.
Okay. Well,
Here's why.
I guess
Here's
that question didn't.
Flo. Here's why. Because, God damn it, retribution.
Really?
That's why I want to spend time.
So that's not a good reason to hang out with people. I think that you should just go ahead and say no, you wouldn't.
You know, you're probably right. But I mean, you ask, why am I this way? I mean, because Christos really is. He's insignificant. Lou is insignificant. I wouldn't hang out with either of them, only because of how they've been. But since it's online, it's not like I'm actually really hanging out with them. And I do know that at some point, these grown men will have to start pulling their heads out of their asses. And
It's amazing how long people can live with their head up their ass.
Dude, it's crazy. But that's part of my experience. I have to admit, I don't like the analogy, but when I was constantly drinking every day, my head was in my ass. I wasn't thinking.
Do you think we ever get our heads all the way out of our ass, or we just pull it a little further out and think that we're clear, and then?
Well, admittedly, that's kind of the wonder I have. The idea of quote unquote enlightenment or raising the consciousness. How do you know when you've done the inner work? How do you know when the shadows are gone? When do you know?
I don't know if they go away. I mean, like, I don't know that having them gone is the right thing. You just sort of fuse them in, right?
I'm sorry. What?
Integrate them. That's the word I was looking for. You integrate the shadow. You don't eliminate it.
Okay.
Is my understanding.
Yes. But how do you know when you've become whole?
Whole?
I guess that's not the right word. Well, no, it is. Because if we've got shadows, if we have parts of us that have not been integrated, then one could say that we have fractures, that we're not whole. Here.
I think that if somebody can point out something about you that's true and is a negative thing and it bothers you, then that's not integrated. But if somebody points it out and you're like, you acknowledge it and then it doesn't really faze you. I'm just shooting from the hip. But that seems reasonable to me.
When there's no more reactions.
When it doesn't bother you, it's like, oh yeah, that is true. And then it doesn't slow you. Right.
Well, and that is what I've been working on. And then I keep discovering different things that bother me. But I honestly think this is the purpose. This is like in all of the universe, the great possibilities. Yeah, we're supposed to work on ourselves.
Yeah. Well, that's the only thing we really have control over.
Well, it took me a lifetime to realize that. I mean, I'm serious about, I did not realize how many insecurities and how uneasy I had been living. I didn't realize it. I just normalized dysfunction.
Imagine how you'll look back on today in a year.
Well, see, that brings us back to that. I mean, we started down that line of questioning about how do you know when you're done or growing or whatever it was. It's a lifelong experience. And I've heard it said, new levels, new devils, right? If you raise out of one level of life, you find new experiences, new problems.
And thank God for that, because no problems would be boring as shit.
Well, yes and no. Because here's how do we know when we've done the work? How do we know when we've integrated ourselves and all that? I started looking at that as an indicator is a clear conscience, right? If you've done your inner work, you face the past, and you've got a clear conscience, well, that's a good sign, as long as it's not, unless you got denial and stuff. But a clear conscience and then the ability to not be overcome with reactions, more stoic and grounded.
I think that those are about, those things are all avoiding the negative. And I think that you need to go past that and engage the positive.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yes, it is. It is the best way to do that.
The best way to avoid the negative is to engage the positive.
Yes,
It'll just push it out naturally.
Yes, that's what I learned.
And that's something that I kind of learned in rehab, is that don't try to white knuckle out cravings. Do if you're in that situation, but you're better off finding something else to replace it with, like not another drug. Just
yes, dude, that was part of what I learned when I paid people to learn how to be a coach. It was simple stuff like that. You want to break a habit, you want to help someone break a habit, give them a new one, right? Help them find something to replace it. That's what life is. I don't know. I have come to realize, though, we individually and collectively have made life far more difficult than it needs to be. And I think that we are living at a time, Flo, I think the possibilities are real for like total transformation of everything that used to be.
Is that retribution?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't believe it's okay. And actually, I'm glad you asked that, because even regarding the others, I don't see it as retribution as much as correcting what is wrong. Because if something's wrong, we can change it, we can correct it. It doesn't necessarily require punishment, but we I know you and I disagree on the bigger picture, at least on the possibilities of what.
I think that we agree on the biggest picture in a way, and just disagree on all the on all the intermediate steps.
It could be.
That's all right. I can fuck. People don't have to agree with me, as long as I can get along with basically anybody, as long as I feel like they're being sincere in how they deal with me.
That's the biggest key. Sincerity. That's where the world is lacking. Holy crap.
Well, that's where your world is lacking.
No, the
not
world
you, but
oh yes, my world. Yes,
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We got someone in the back. Looks like Sam, how you doing? Did the connection come through?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me, lads? Yeah.
Your audio is, I can't understand it.
A little fuzzy.
Here.
That's easy. Gosh.
Here.
I can't use it. Oh, no. Any better?
It's still staticky, and there was an echo. So if you had another time, or another tab open, you might want to make sure that's closed. Tell you what, take a minute and see if you can get your audio set up. I'm gonna mute you for a minute though, all right? Maybe.
Yeah, please. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're
Somewhat.
still kind of staticky, but you're better.
Yeah, you are better.
Apologies, please, for that. I just like what you're talking about with the fact.
You should try turning off your
trauma
camera.
is the teacher. Yeah.
Sam, your connection's weak. If you try turning off your camera and standing as close to the router as you can, like sit on that motherfucker.
This is a fascinating time we live in. Can you imagine living at other times?
I kind of wonder if everybody has always felt like that about whatever time they're in.
Thank you. I mean, that's kind of what I was trying to wonder. Do you think other times people were seeing stupidity?
It doesn't seem like it. I mean, it doesn't seem like it, but it also sort of seems like every generation has had, always thought that the end of the world was right on the horizon.
That's for sure. Part of that has been by intention, though. I mean, I've been watching I've spent a lot of time looking at documentaries and presentations. The history, just since World War II. Wait, you were talking, the fear, end of world stuff. Yes. Before World War II. World War I, since World War I, the beginning of 1900 till now, 124 years. Dude. This world is...
I think it's by design, though. Because people, when somebody's in fear, they bypass their reasoning and just react.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the easiest way to control people.
Exactly. I watched a beautiful... we've talked about it before. You brought it up. I think you've looked into it more than I have. The way the education was developed from Prussia.
Mm-hmm.
They recognized. And that's what I forgot to do. I learned about some other names in early 1900s. People that were studying people, learning that fear was a great conditioner for babies.
Yeah, for babies.
Sam, we've got some volume back on you now.
Well, yes. Well, just what you were saying there, lads, is people like
Sam,
it ain't working.
Going
not. Can I? Hey, Sam.
Jack, I'm calling in from the space station right now. My internet's a little choppy.
Your Starlink sounds better than Sam's, unfortunately. Sam, can I ask you to maybe try to reconnect? Because the audio, it's real static and it's hard to catch you.
It's damn near abysmal. And I just came up here real fast to point out how Flo was kind of... I was vouching for Wizard, right? And he's like, oh, you're a snake for vouching for Wizard. And I was like, man, I kind of got taken back for a second. I was like, well, I think he does have good things to offer, but at the same time, he offers a lot of insanity himself. And then it just, yeah. So thank you for pointing that out, Flo. And I don't know.
Well,
man.
sorry if I
know,
came
Jack.
on a little strong. I could tell that you reacted negatively to it, which made me then sort of start second guessing it. But whatever,
Hey, I appreciate the acknowledgement. I appreciate it. Welcome, Daddy.
Here comes Big Dog.
A beta male supporter. Fabulous. Good to see you today, brother. Fabulous. Sam, still how you still any luck with your audio?
You might just need to step in.
It's still saying, okay,
Sam,
well, I'll jump out.
please don't call from the International Space Station again, all right? When you get landed back on Earth,
Since
give
old
us a call.
phone, I won't go. Oh, it's like understanding on and Steiner. I won't any new technology, and sorry, apologies. It's just this whole.
It's just
phone
really
just
not
won't
working at all.
take anymore.
Sam, I don't mean to be rude, but it's really not working at all. I'm going to redrop the link, and I encourage you. Well, actually, just hit a leave studio and then hit the back on your browser. It'll bring you right back. Or I redrop the link, but your connection, there's nothing there. I don't know what to do, my friend. And since you intended to, you offered to reach out yesterday and mention that you had interest in us talking, I'd really love to explore it and see what we can do, Sam, but I don't know.
You got to use a different device or get a better connection or something. It's just really like not good at all.
Yep, but that's part of doing this stream. I mean, that's the world. This is the world we live in.
That's something you could overhaul.
What's
Sam's
that?
Internet.
Hey, actually, I've considered, I think our internet and many of the services, I bet there's a lot of improvements. Batman, I'm not sure who you are or
How's it going, Jack?
going good.
Oh my God.
That really is Batman.
Is that Kevin Costner?
That's the real Batman. I don't know that I'd take that screen down, but that's the real Batman for sure.
I've come in peace.
All right. In search for my beta boy Robin.
Sounds like OTW.
Is he going by Daddy's Kong Dong by chance?
I'm here for you,
boy
Jack.
Robin?
I'm here for you, Jack.
You know, actually, I'm sensing you might be having fun, but I'm starting to tire, and I'm curious what your intention is.
My intention is, what are you doing on the ground?
Yeah.
How can we serve you today?
Oh, that's right. That was a good question. German Garcia is who Batman is, apparently. German Garcia. Does that sound familiar?
Nope.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Well, I was suspecting an OTW because it sounded like something he would do. I don't know. And really, I really don't get it. We have the opportunity each and every day to do whatever we want, right? And if you don't want to help somebody, if you don't want to support what they're trying to do, who does it serve to go out of your way and just try and interrupt it? That's what I truly don't understand.
Well, it's something to do.
Yep. Thank you. There it is. Duh. I don't understand because I found purpose for myself. People without purpose. What is it? The idle hand is the devil's playground. True sign of the evil spirit.
We know that's right.
What if that's actually the reason we are the way we are today?
Boredom?
Yep.
I think that's. Yeah, I was saying last night on TML's panel that we need We need some sort of a struggle in the world, because people are finding ways to. I mean, they're fighting against gender, right? They're cutting their fucking dicks off to.
Hey, have you has anybody read John Eldridge's Wild at Heart?
Wild. I feel like I did a long time ago.
It's a book about like finding your purpose and stuff, and it talks about how men need a battle to fight and like a woman to rescue or whatever. I could be paraphrasing it wrong, but I mean, it's a really good book, and I think it's true. We need something to fight. We need something to fight for.
I agree. I that sounds familiar. I don't remember if I read that. I do know I read actually a couple times. I've read Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, and that's good shit.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think of that. I'm not familiar with with that one you mentioned. Moose, you have been exploring active in service is what I'm referring to. Finding
Yeah.
ways to be of service in the community, and you've been doing stuff like that though, right?
Yeah, I'm actually in the process right now of creating some new shirts for the upcoming event. Um, I don't get anything out of it other than possibly having a design that I made, but
Cool.
I mean, yeah, the thing with me is I am actively trying to stay in the community and try to serve others through any way possible. And if my computer skills can help somebody, then I try to do that. If I have a little couple extra dollars or something, then I'll give them a couple extra dollars. Recently, we just went through this big freeze, and so they needed blankets and clothes and stuff. So we've been trying to help people get that stuff. But I don't like to talk about it too much because it just gets me a lot of like backlash from others. It's like, oh, you're not supposed to talk about the good things you do, but I'm not like showing people, like I'm not taking Instagram posts and saying,
Right.
hey, look, take my $5 so you could have some food.
Hey,
So I don't
Moose,
know.
I heard some of the pushback against you, and I didn't see real big signs of like ego doing it, sharing it. What I heard from you is you were proud of what you'd done, you and others, and you were sharing it with the idea that, hey, maybe others will find inspiration, find their way of doing it. That's what I saw from you.
Yeah, man, it's hard to do it all yourself, and so that's why I'm big on trying to get people together to help because, if 10 people help out, then it's a lot less work than if only one or two people do it. I'm lazy just like everybody else, right? And so the more people that help, the lazier I can be, or the more time I have to do other things, sit on the beach for a little bit and think.
That's exactly it. And this is what I've learned, man. Relationships are so important because when we come together, I mean, you get extra people involved to accomplish a task, and it changes. The work gets done quicker. It gets done. I mean, assuming you're on the same page, but I loved working with teams. No, that is not true.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. Some people don't like working with teams, Jack. And I
Yeah,
work
no,
solo apart from the team. So I contribute to the greater good, but I work by myself usually.
I don't think that I was a very good team worker. Like I'd probably exploit the team dynamic. I mean, I have.
sure, but I've seen you have enough self-restraint, respect. I don't see you taking advantage. I mean, maybe in the past that might have been, but hey, there's benefits to being alone to having the will, the strength, the independence, the courage to be alone, to get the tasks done. But
It doesn't take away from you serving other people. Like, you can still serve other people, without actually joining like a group effort, or you can just do your
yeah,
part and send it in or whatever, and
Sure.
you're still serving people. So, and you put up a quote right there, and the quote, we should hear people out. Like, I'd like to hear, this other person on panel say why he's here, what he would like from us, how we could serve him, and how we could just get some resolution. Because I'm not interested in a battle. I'm not interested in joining a circus. I'm not interested in being part of the drama anymore. Like, I'm gonna use my anger and my dark side for, the proper times when they could be used for good.
good for you, brother. I invite Daddy's Kong Dong. You're welcome to. I am curious how I can serve. But I won't press. Not yet.
That name though, that name is hilarious. I mean, is that Daddy's Kong Dong? Come on.
Well, I'm not doxing. Well, anyway, you know what?
You're not doxing. We all know it's Paul.
Right. I know. That's what I was gonna say, but then I realized I don't need to. Well, Paul understands, I believe. He's a smart man. He knows I'd like to talk to him. I mean, I've been pretty open and honest about that. I haven't received clear. It's still no path to accomplish what I want yet, but
Well,
that's
he's
all
in
right.
his confusion.
Yeah. Welcome, Aaron. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good. I think my audio is having a little issue right now.
It's great
channel.
compared
I
to the
might have
last
drop down and
dude.
come back up, but I just
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if it was going to come up or not. Yeah, I just want to remind you that when you're doing well, that's when all the assholes show up with their asshole out, because they can't stand to see other people do well when they're not. It's just that simple. They'll sit on a panel with nothing better to do. They'll harp, they'll do all sorts of stuff. And then they don't realize that there's other bigger, more monstrous trolls ready to farm them, ready to take them in and find their little excuses for lives. And I would advise all of them to be aware that that's just the case, that, and what you're talking about is pretty righteous. You're trying to help people, Jack. I'm sorry. I came up here to just kind of like batten up behind you because there's so much easily done to alleviate these problems in the world within ourselves individually. The big picture, that's a tougher story. But you are hitting on righteous purposing. And ain't none of the big trolls ever going to touch you for that. Ain't none of the big actual ones going to touch you for that. But you know what they will look for? They'll look for more white Bowsers.
I already got my dick sucked once today, Jack. I don't need any service. Thanks, though.
Like that. See, they look for those.
There's no way
because
he
they
can
think they're
bend over
God.
that far
They
with
think-
as fat as he is.
Yeah, true. That too as well. But yeah, absolutely, Flow State. By the way, you've got to be limber. And I read a post earlier this morning from one of my channels that had a picture of Jesus saying, "You know how I don't really love you?" And somebody down below said, "Yeah, you didn't give us the ability to suck our own dick." And that's the truth. That is a truth in that those people who aren't really loved, who won't love themselves, can't reach their own dick. And I say this as both a metaphor and a jibe, to those who are angry. And I'll take part, by the way, Jack. And I think you saw me in rare form last night, or not so much rare form, but in my bully form, and I'd call it the sword of Michael. People forget that Michael the angel carried a fiery sword of retribution. And I also remind you, as you were asking me the other day, well, what should you do about these boundaries? Carry that sword, man, and cut them off. Cut them to pieces with your logic. Cut them to pieces with your love. And those people can't handle it because they're seething at the fact that anything you say is taken seriously. So they've got to undermine it. That's how you know you're doing well, man. And I take your message, the pieces that hit me, the pieces that don't, I can leave behind because they aren't for me. They can't, because they're so consumed with the fact that someone, oh my God, someone has something to say they don't agree with, and they don't really have much else to do.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience. I appreciate what you're offering, the encouragement. I don't claim to know why people do what they do, but El Perro, seriously, you can't answer that, or you have doubts in your mind. You actually have to ask the opinion of someone else. Does Jack love anyone but himself? Well, considering I see myself in you and all others, I guess that is true. I only love myself because I see the one self. But it's not myself. I see God's self.
Well, I don't know if you noticed yesterday from the chat, I was calling everybody on panel a moron because you all were like cupcaking Wizard in, like, you know, like we haven't been here before, like we don't know better.
Yeah. I love having your older brother energy around, Flo, by the way.
I do what I can.
That isn't, yeah, that's a polite way of saying it. He does bring kind of like an older brother energy. Real douchebag, dick type older brother that.
Yes, I mean sometimes.
I was
But
waiting
the
for
thing I was saying the other day though is
The
you
cheese
don't really
pizza's all
have
gone,
to,
Kevin.
Yeah,
we don't have to sit here and you know, like we don't have to like each other's like religion or you know where you grew up or whatever. All we got to do is just be cordial with each other and listen to each other, and that's it. That's pretty much it. And then maybe we can learn something. Maybe we don't learn something. I don't know, but by just arguing over dumb shit all the time, you never get anywhere.
Moose, I love that you brought that up because that's something I think we were talking about earlier, is that life is really more simple than we think. If we come to the present, joining into the present, letting the past go, just recognizing now is new. I don't actually know everything that Paul thinks, and Paul doesn't actually know everything he thinks about me. If we listen to each other, we actually join together with each other in the current moment with, you know, with focus on a better future. I think we could overcome the past pretty easily just by focusing on the future.
But Jack, I'm sorry, I have to point this out. And this was made very obvious last night. These folks who make themselves the frothy demons that, as I described them, are afraid of where we're at in the now, much less the future. That's why they scream and claw as they're being shoved down the shitter and fight for the ideas of decades. I'm talking about some of the things I heard last night were like, yo, we left that behind in the 1970s and you're still touting it, which, by the way, you'd be amazed at some of the background that I found on that cat last night. Oh my God. Talking about, you know, folks that are disingenuous with the way that they portray themselves. I'm always amazed at folks that will put out the righteous sensibility and then come with Archie Bunker. And then you look up and sure enough, hey, they're Archie Bunker for real. It's not just online. That these folks, their time is over. They are not adapting. They are not trying to learn anything. And they want to be disgusted and hateful and spread as much of that as possible on their way down the toilet.
Oh, and I just want to point out for RT down there who's talking about how my daughter's gonna, you know, be all sad when she goes to an Ivy League school and doesn't have any money. I don't think it's any of your business what my daughter has. Like, You're not going to take care of my daughter. You're not going to pay for her college. You're not going to do anything for her. So it's none of your business. That's the kind of shit that you just keep to yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, Moose,
But he
that's
wants to take pot shots from the chat.
yeah, and also that's just the weak sauce of attempt of any nature. It's one, he's talking about things he has no ability to know about. Two, he has no, idea of what's really going on or the sensibilities. And it's all just lobbing out there, like really a chimpanzee reaching in his ass, pulling the shit out and tossing it. That's all it is. And I used to call this bedazzled flavored poopy because they're so impressed with it. They go to Michael's and they get bedazzling devices to bedazzle their own shit. And then they toss it at their neighbors like that's going to impress somebody other than themselves and their own 8-year-old minds.
Well, when you hang out with the homeless camp, this is what you get. They move in the backyard.
Welcome, Tarek.
Hey, Tarek.
Hey, Dad, how are you? How's it?
I'm saying it wrong.
Good. I just heard somebody mention Moose's daughter. This really bothers me when people get like family involved. So who was it? RT, I'm assuming?
You going to beat him up?
Yeah, I will be. Well, I mean, if he wants to box, yeah. I don't like that shit. Like RT, whoever you are, I don't even know you. Go suck a dick and stop talking about people's family and daughters and sons. And, this is just the lowest of the lowest to mention people's family on the universe, on the metaverse. That's just stupid.
Well, I don't disagree, but our judgments, well, you know what? You're offering correction. We can let it go from there. Hopefully it doesn't rise.
Yeah, it's not nice. I don't think it's nice, Jack. And also, Jack, I may disagree with you on many things, but here's the thing. I don't understand why, and I won't mention the name, that somebody from the other panel, for example, would want you or are happy about, for example, that you may be out of the house or something. That to me bothers me. So, and that's just not right.
So are you here to stir up drama again, Tarek, like usual?
No, I'm being honest. Like, I don't like that stuff. Like, anybody, it doesn't matter if I agree with Jack or not. I don't want him on the street ever. And then I hear the other panel talking, being happy about it. I don't think that's something anybody should be happy about.
But that's definitely nothing new. So what are you doing here right now? You just doing the Tarek thing. You come to one panel and report the things the other panel said, and
no, that's not what I'm doing here. I can actually. No, I came just for Moose. I didn't like the fact that RT said that about Moose's daughter. That's not right.
You're such a valiant tattletale and pot stirrer.
What's going on,
Officer, what did I do?
You're truly chivalrous.
I want to know what I did wrong. Officer Tarek, book me.
I'm not an officer, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, actually, Tarek, I appreciate what you're offering, but I do kind of see what he's asking you, because it does seem to be a pattern. You go and express your opinion, but I don't know the resolution. I agree with you, though. I don't really appreciate that people are joyful or excited about the fact that I might, there's people betting against me. They're actually excited for the possibility of my failure and my pain, my sorrow. It's a sickness of this world. So I agree with you. It's not appropriate.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, but Jack, like even before, I never, ever, ever on Paul's, any channel ever mentioned, say, hey, I'm happy Jack's going to be out of a house. Never. That's just not me. That's not me.
Shut up. God.
Flow State, what's going on? Do I need to donate or contribute? Are you on tonight?
I mean, yeah, you can buy me out. That's fine.
All right, I'll change your name today, Crybaby. Go on today, and I'll change your name to a Crybaby.
That's fine. Pay up the $2, homie.
I'll pay the $10. Forget the $2. Go to 10.
All right. Deal.
Deal.
But you got to do it first. I don't take IOUs.
That's a fucking.
Oh my God! If I give you my word, I give you my word.
The donation bin is starting to fill up. Praise God.
Yeah, if I accepted IOUs from people, I'd be broke.
Oh yeah,
we all will be.
Show us some money. Show us the money, Tarek. Show us the love.
But see, can I
yes.
point something out that all of this banter is still in good fun, is still in good nature, even in our minor disagreements. We aren't lobbing things out. And I gotta say, even if he's coming up here to tattletale or whatever you want to fucking call it, shit, it's kind of reasonable in the sense that, like, there are adults. 60-year-old, one that was almost 70 last night, in their 30s, in their 40s, one living in a basically a house with a bunch of other dudes who can't pay his rent, that their whole thing is tearing down others because they're torn down. They're sad. They're afraid. And they'll
sad people. Sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. No, it's true. Please, someone play the violin.
Keep going. I'm just doing background noises.
No, true.
Sad,
No, it's okay.
sad
Poor
world.
sad loser.
It's a sad world. Yeah.
It is a sad world, and there are a lot of hurt people with a lot of time on their hands. And the technology allows these hurt people with time on their hands to have interactions with others and share their energies, their life force energies.
Poor gay little vampires.
Oh man. So okay.
Wait,
so
does
the
a gay
topic today is
vampire-
service to others?
Sorry.
Oh, go
That's
ahead.
right. They suck dick.
I was about to ask. Thank you. For
Yep.
That makes sense.
Huh.
There goes one of them.
Well, we were talking about service to others, and Tarek was like, "I'm out," but I appreciate.
Maybe he
what
went to
you
go
did,
get that
Tarek.
$10.
Yeah, if anything, Jack, you realize that they're all servicing you today. I mean, if anything, most of the time they're coming to service on their knees to you. And I think that's something to take in, don't take it for granted. Even though you don't like it, even though you don't want it, they're still all lining up because
I'm fucking better than you, bitch.
Well, and part of it is I do see the support I have around me, and there's fights going on in the chat. Not really fights, but there is.
It's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah, I'm seeing. Yeah. I do hope for peace, though, eventually. And I know it's available for us. And when peace... Hey, I started on the monologue with this idea, and I'm dead serious. If we start truly understanding the good news of who we are and what life has to bring forth, we'll change this world very, very quickly. It's going to spread and share. Welcome, RT.
Hey, Jack.
Mm.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey, I just want to say, the only thing I said in the comments was that I know Moose in his he's very generous right now, but he has a young daughter, and that he needs to be thinking about saving some of that generosity for her and her needs as she grows up along
Not your
the
daughter,
path.
not your fashion. I'm going to stop you right there, sir. If you wouldn't say
What?
that in a bar, you wouldn't say it here. It's none of your fucking business. And let me just say it on his behalf. What is your disturbance in your brain that lets you think that has anything to do with you, that has anything to do with your concern? Because what you're doing is actually called concern trolling. And those of us who are monsters of that will actually be concerned about your mental well-being. I think
I have no idea what you're talking about, dude.
I know you don't, because you have a mental instability.
Wait, please.
What?
Let's not read too much into it, and let's not jump too far. Okay, it is interesting.
Someone's Tamagotchi needs a nap.
Oh my
Is that what that
goodness.
is?
It's the new guy on panel.
Hey,
Look.
RT, though, part of this is genuine. I mean, offering advice to a man regarding how he should raise his daughter. I mean,
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not
you?
doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm saying,
Okay.
Moose is patting himself on the back, which is fine for all his generosity, but like he has a very young daughter who is going to have incredible financial needs that he has no idea what they're going to be. And so, like,
So
for it in different,
You're going to pay
what?
for it, right? You're going to
in
pay for it?
difference,
Oh, shut up.
shut
Okay,
the
cool. You're not
fuck
going to pay
up,
for it.
dude.
No, no, you shut up, sir.
RT, why won't you pay for it? It's important.
Well,
You guys suck, man. All I
Well,
said
Thank you for
was,
noticing. I'm really good.
all I said was, he's obviously very generous right now, but like, he has no idea the amount of costs that are going to arise from his young
RT,
daughter.
right?
Why are you saying this to the panel and not speaking to him offline about this personally if that's your actual issue? That's
I don't know,
disingenuous
Moose.
and with bad faith.
I don't know, Moose. I don't know
Here,
you. I don't want to
Then
know.
why are you talking about it? You don't know him. You just admitted you don't know him. It's stupid, sir. Please.
Here again,
Oh
it
my
doesn't.
God.
We don't actually have to make a big deal about this. However, since it's come forth, it is an opportunity to discuss, right?
It came
And-
forth because Tarek made a comment like I had made an egregious comment towards his
Oh,
daughter,
yeah.
which I had never done. That's so stupid.
Okay,
You know?
well, here, RT, what about
Yes.
this? What if? Because let's face it, what you're offering to Moose, let's present it. It's coming from a place of care. You see the
Of course it
perspective.
is.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been there, done that.
But your care in the way it was offered, it was out of a place of fear, saying you
What?
need to be careful. Please trust me on this.
Okay.
Consider it.
All right.
Consider it. The care. I don't want to overanalyze, but
Yeah.
I
That's good.
see the source coming from a place of fear, and fear brings reactions. Okay. Oh, actually,
I have
love
no
brings
fear.
reactions
I'm
too,
not
but
fearful. I'm just sharing life experiences.
I
It has nothing to
understand
do with
that.
fear. It has nothing to do with fear. I mean, he can spend all his money on whatever he wants to do. And then when his daughter
Mhm.
goes, hey, I want to go to a university that is pretty prominent. And he goes, I spent all my money on helping the homeless over here. And so she's going to be like, uh,
I don't know what happened, my friend.
I'm just gonna say that I get it. I understand what you're saying, and I'm just gonna appreciate what you said for what you meant it as, and I'm not gonna misconstrue it
Thank
further.
you.
But I would appreciate it if you didn't bring her up.
Yeah.
That would make me a lot more comfortable with you.
And honestly, I bet that's where it all came from. The whether it was intended with humor or care, the comment about a man's daughter, it can be sensitive, and then other people get sensitive when people see that maybe a man's family is not being respected. And I think
Yeah,
that's
and
what Tarek was doing.
I want to point it out how like I choose to not buy myself clothes or like new cars or stuff like that because I know these things. I know that these things are coming. I'm already taking that into account. I didn't have children until I was 35,
God
36.
damn.
So I mean, I've waited a long time, and she has a college fund already ready for her. So I mean, she's going to be taken care of, and I have an insurance policy on me. So if one of you guys whacks me, then she'll get a bunch of money. So she'll be all right.
Was that a request?
Yeah. I was going to ask you, Moose, actually, first and foremost, do you have any of these concerns, or is this something you haven't planned out for real, just to put it out there and none of that it's anybody's business, but since you're sharing right now?
I think the best retirement or the best college savings account is Pokemon cards and Beanie Babies. They only appreciate.
This is not financial advice coming from this panel or stream.
It is from me. You can sue me if you want. You won't make shit suing somebody who's not got any money.
Yeah, I don't, that's the thing is I'm very cash poor, so there's nothing.
Well, here's another part. I spent most of my life, even raising my son, with those worries and those concerns. I lived real modestly with my expenses and my fun because I wanted to be a responsible father, putting stuff away, trying to be planning for the future. despite our best efforts, sometimes things don't always work out the way we want. And what I actually see, I keep mentioning this, if there is a chance, I believe we can create peace here on Earth in this lifetime. I think there's ways. I think it is time. And if we create peace in this lifetime, guess what? We can well,
We summon the Antichrist. At least that's what the Bible said.
it's already here. It just hasn't been identified yet.
Ha ha ha! They still don't know.
Dude, people are saying I'm talking about inheritance and stuff. Like I got an inheritance coming. My parents are poorer than shit. My parents are gonna need my help, and I'm probably gonna work long, for them.
Moose, why are they so in your business like that? What is that? I mean, it's like, first off, it is the first rule of any show or any of the gangs or anything. You don't bring family into it. That's inappropriate, So why are these people going after you for that? Can I ask? We're asking you about it.
I don't know. I think they think I have something that they want and I don't have it. So it's like, it's tough shit. Like they just need to get over it.
Paul's the one with all the money.
Could be. I can see. Oh, here, the part I didn't say. If I'm right, and if we can be a part of bringing peace to this world, I don't think those involved, I don't think they're going to have to worry too much about money in the future. I bet the world would help take care of them. So,
not if I get my way. I don't really worry about money right now as it is, though.
It's the best way. The whole world could live that way. That's actually what I realized a long time ago, too. There came a point. I mean, I went through a labor dispute for 3 years. Nothing more than like my VA disability, $300 a month is what I was surviving on. And just waiting for the day in court, couldn't really do much. Eventually, I had to accept the fact that I was becoming delinquent in my debts. My debts were there was no way for me to pay them, at least at the time and under the conditions that I was being expected. So at some point, I had to emotionally, mentally write them off. And that's when I started realizing this world would be so much better if people weren't so afraid and worried about their debts.
I have a question, Jack.
I have a question too.
Did you release all your secrets yet? Are they published somewhere?
I have no secrets.
Oh, okay. So if I just ask for the password to your Gmail account to use the stream from, I could just have it?
Why?
Hank with the fast one.
Okay. Well, no, I know everyone wants to play this gotcha. Z-Jack, you're keeping secrets. How about recognize I'm a man just like you? You're not going to come in and just fucking take advantage of me. What would be the reason you had my password? If there's a reason.
That's exactly the point. I think secrets aren't necessarily bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you think they're all bad. So
okay,
I'm saying
no. Let's not. I don't think all secrets are bad. I just think that we should be a lot more logical and more open about when secrets should be allowed. And I'm certainly against citizens who are being paid their salaries as congressmen and women, people in Congress. They are paid money to keep secrets, to know things, and then not tell the public. So our government treats the public as enemies. The corporations treat their customers as enemies. Keeping secrets shows a lack of trust.
Yeah, and what you're talking about is state secret and
Yes.
corporate secret and cabal secret. You're not talking about, oh, I kept a white lie for my wife because I felt like it would hurt her. That's a different kind of thing, right?
Even those personally, I encourage avoid all secrets. I mean, knowledge is knowledge. It only becomes a secret when it's being withheld. So
Yep.
part of our choice is we need to determine, is this knowledge relevant to others?
Mm.
And do they have it? And do I have it? And do I want them to have it?
Yes.
And I do not.
It takes a little bit of awareness and the idea to pay attention. But growing up, honestly, I was taught it's okay to lie. You know, there's reasons you lie. Sometimes you got to lie just so you don't hurt people's feelings too, don't you know? So I grew up with that idea that there were reasons to lie, and
You should lie to cops.
I may not disagree with you.
There's an easier way. It's called silence.
I agree with Flow State. You should lie to cops. Yes.
Just about.
They're lying to you.
Yes.
Well, that is true.
Hey, Jack, what corporate secrets are you talking about
Chuck,
you
do you
said
want to get
that?
axed immediately? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, it was a question, dumbass. Go back to your shake weight and have a good time.
we need to kick this guy off the panel. Have him take the fat gorilla with him.
Well,
What? No, thank
I'm
you.
actually, I'm kind of agreeing, but I mean, I'm seeing the same pattern from Chuck coming up with.
No, it was a question. You
Hey,
just
Chuck,
mentioned.
Right, Chuck. Before you
Come on, Jack. I was trying to
you tell me
depressurize
I'm
the
wrong.
situation before it even pressurized.
Damn.
Well, tell you what, Chuck. Explain to me what you don't understand. What do you mean? You want me to
You said-
explain?
Hank, I'm pissing on your head.
I understand the state. I understand the state secret thing. I'm
Okay.
talking about. You mentioned corporate secret, and I don't understand what you're talking about.
Why? Where's the confusion? You understood the connection between state secrets. So what did it mean when you understood state secrets?
I understood what you was talking about there, but how do you relate that to corporate? Is where I'm lost.
How do you not relate that? I'm trying to understand you now, Chuck. So you understand the word secret. You understand the concept of state secrets. You understand the word of corporate.
Okay.
You know what a
state
corporation
secrets affect everybody. Who do corporate secrets affect? Besides the person buying it, maybe. The
What
product.
about the employees or the employees?
What do you mean, the
You know,
employees? You got to.
employees don't know.
Let me cut my cam. I'm losing signal. Try that. I didn't hear you, Jack. My internet was bogging out.
Yeah, I'm still
$2.
not sure what you're confused about, Chuck. So tell you what, you understand the concept of the problem against corporate or state secrets. So how about we just start there? So if you understand that's my purpose, is to convince that, hey, we don't need to have state secrets or corporate secrets. You understand the state secrets. Do you agree with me or you disagree?
You got to have some.
Why?
Because if you give away everything that you're holding your card, so to speak, then your enemy is going to know exactly everything there is about you to know.
Why do we have enemies?
Not everyone is trustworthy.
Yes.
Are people who keep secrets, are they trustworthy?
Yes, if they're doing it,
sure.
if they're doing it to preserve themselves and the things that they care about, absolutely, it's only
But
responsible to them.
But what if they're only doing it to have more power over their enemy, and they chose to have the enemy, right? So I chose to have Chuck as my enemy, and then I know things that Chuck needs to know, but I'm not going to tell him because Chuck is my enemy.
Well, you don't have to choose someone for them to choose you.
Right.
So
Exactly.
if somebody
So
chooses
if
you to be
you
an enemy and then you pretend like they're not an enemy, where's the
Some
from
flow
where
could
I'm
say that that's
sitting,
pulling the energy from that to just
it's
ignore
kind of
them.
weird,
And
dude.
it is weird.
Because
It is weird. But I have known people who, well, Ramdas would have suggested not just turning the cheek, but to be friendly to those who are thine enemy, simply because it disarms them. And I've actually found that it works throughout my life that or you take the exact same route and mirror what they're doing, But oftentimes the scariest thing to big people who think that they can bully up on you is to start being really nice to them and everybody around them. They don't know what to do. They simply
Nope.
don't know what to do.
You have no idea.
I just know our world would have more peace. It would be a lot safer if we didn't have. Okay, Chuck, maybe you're not aware when I'm talking corporations. Corporations include, those who have formed into the military industrial complex.
I have a question, Jack.
Mhm.
Does that include the Missing Link Live? I think that's a corporation too. Should I have the passwords to all their video hosting site accounts?
Why would you? See, you're just think that's funny, and maybe it's funny, but it's
like a 3 out of 10 on the cleverness scale, Hank.
I know. I want to keep it as close to one as
You're being
possible,
patient,
so I don't over confuse people.
I was being generous, so you're doing good then.
Yeah.
doing good. Well, if these corporations, they also include the pharmaceutical industries. And I don't know if you may have paid any attention over the past few years, Chuck, about some of the questions that came out from the pharmaceutical industry. But since our government, through their choices, is keeping state secrets and allows the corporations to have secrets, and they've unified against us, I think it's up to us to do something about this, to be honest. And I know there's other people that I haven't met who are actually trying to do things. I'd love to join those people too, but I haven't met them yet.
Did Chuck leave, or did you give him the axe?
I did not. I'm assuming maybe his connection or something. He drops in and out sometimes.
That's exactly what you'd say if you gave him the axe.
From you is if you do give someone the axe, can you give them the guillotine with the whole effect? Do the whole stage play with it, so that way we know that it's coming.
You know what? That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
I need to figure out these video things, because that would be a great
I'm
one.
stealing it. Fuck you.
This is why you keep things secret, Jack. This is why you have secret.
Yeah, perfect example. Good producing, Moose. Good producing.
If it's good, it's good. And it's meant
I'll
to be
send you some clips of some preachers healing people in insane ways or something like that. So every time you kick someone, it's a be healed,
Oh, yeah.
The audience.
Legitimately, I wish I had powers like that, where I could just, I don't know, convince people to wake up.
Okay, let's start your training then.
How so? What do you mean?
Wake up. So you need healing powers and you need some mind control. What else do you need?
Well, I believe I don't need anything. I just need the opportunity. That's it, Hank. That's the only thing I need is the opportunity.
Hey, when somebody is about to get kicked, but they're not going to get kicked, you should have the Black Knight from Monty Python. Have you seen that part, Jack, where he gets his arms and legs cut off? And he's like, I still got it.
It's only a flesh wound.
Only a flesh wound.
It's only a flesh wound.
That's an arm.
Holy
Didn't need it anyways.
man. See, stuff like that. Monty Python. That's only here on Earth. I mean, only people, we create some of the craziest things. People do. Some of the things from our society and times, the pop stars, the artists, the different things that became newsworthy just in this lifetime. We're alive in an amazing, well, this time may be just like every other. However, this one has us in it. And I'm excited to see what the future is going to bring. I mentioned this earlier. The more I tell my story, the more I believe it to be true. There is a path. There is a way for this world to change, for people to unite, to come together, to say enough is enough. And the wars will end, and we'll start addressing the corruption from the past.
Jack, what do you have to say to these folks that think that because you are approaching this path, want to find that path, want to help others, that somehow that's weak, that's weak-minded, or that's you've got to admit something more, you've got to kowtow to their ideas of what you should be doing? What do you because I hear this constantly. So what do you have to say to that? Because I don't think it's weak. I think it's courageous.
I don't think people have actually allowed themselves to really consider what I'm saying. There are few who have. They've considered the ideas of a money-free society. I mean, this is where my inspirations came from, was from others that are actually creating these programs, trying to do these things. But I've never actually had real conversations with some of these people.
I guess I just don't like the implications of it.
Which implications would you object to?
Okay, so money free, that's like a license for greed. So people who don't know how to allocate resources will over grab stuff, then we run out of stuff too fast. There's hoarders.
You don't
money means hoarders will take too much stuff.
What about this idea though? Because you're right, under today's mindset, man, you put something free out there, even if it's worthless, people will fight over it, wanting to be the first to receive something for nothing. Greed exists. But in a world where the goal is actually to serve and to help each other, as individuals start trying to take more than what is really theirs, we won't be afraid of each other. We're not going to be all separated and everyone's just focused on their own thing, not asking anyone questions, because we don't want to be asked any questions. I think in the future, when we care about the greater good and we care about what is fair, we'll help each other realize what is right and what's wrong. And if someone starts taking more than they should, we'll just call them out. What's going on here? What's the reason? Maybe you have an extra need that others may not. What can we help you deal with?
Well, are you familiar with the bonobo banana test?
I don't think I am.
It's kind of a sociological experiment, but it's actually based off of animal science. It's an animal understanding. His name is Voers, the same guy who termed the original term for alpha in wolf packs that humans like to mistakenly use for their own selves, where there's only a female alpha in humanity, and she sets off the asters for other women. But that's another story. He did some tests in both zoos and in the wild, and if you give bonobos or chimpanzees, which is our closest social cultural relative in the jungle, with animal brain, if you give them enough bananas for everybody, food, essentially, the leaders of the pack, they hand it out and distribute evenly. But if you give them too much, they hoard it and they leave the rotten behind. You give them too little, they hoard it and nobody gets any. And this is a mirror of what humans do with plenty or more than we need.
How interesting. Well, this is what I realized too. One of the things I was watching about the study of infants and the study of fear. I wish I could remember the name of who it was. You might, Aaron, some of the stuff you've been looking into, you may know what I'm talking about. With people in power and influence have been using the normal tendencies of mankind against us. And whether it's intentional or not, the way the systems have evolved and grown, the government systems, the corporate systems, it's convinced good people to lie, good people to do some horrible things. And actually, it's convinced good people to hold themselves back from doing great things. And I think the world is ready for a change. It's ready for peace. It's ready for transformation. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I've been saying this earlier. I hope my words become prophetic. I hope it turns out to be true, and that somehow this is real. But I honestly, using logic and reasoning, I can't see humanity having a successful future. I mean, the way we're heading, as long as the states are going to stay divided and the banks and the wealthy have all this power, as long as the economic disparity continues to grow, we will continue to be more divided, more against each other, less efficient. Will be.
Well, I would kind of disagree, because we do have a lot of history to show that these power structures, as we see them now, fail in on themselves.
All right. Thank you for that. You're right.
And the destruction is horrifying, but it does tend to create better civilization thereafter with more advancements, even though there will always be a decline for some period. We wouldn't have the Renaissance without the fall of Constantinople. You wouldn't have Constantinople without the fall of Rome. You wouldn't have Rome without the fall of Greece, and these things may take, 500 to 700 years, way outside our lifetime, but maybe that'll speed up. Once again, I'm more of the Kurzweil class of thinking, that I believe that man's ingenuity has a bell arc that doesn't drift into the low end, that it gets exponentially wider. And it's I just think that humans are more algorithmic in their positive intention, meaning that we multiply that positive intention by multitudes, by tens and hundreds and then thousands. You know what I mean? If I'm making sense to anybody. Flo, please chime in at any time to see. I need your contrarian at some point.
I was busy looking for guillotine videos.
Oh, good. Okay, that's all that matters. That's never mind. You are doing the important work. Thank you. Thank God.
Praise God.
Praise God. Praise Bob. Yeah, I think that if we look at history, which we've had that fall and rise of man's ingenuity and abilities for the past 200 years in more successive and quicker fashion, from world wars that used to take 4 generations to get over to less than a generation, and now they're part of our business structure of the world. That's going to fall in on itself, and whether it be atomic war, which is less likely because humans love themselves. They wouldn't eradicate their income, which is actually a joke of a friend of mine. Is that why would you commit to that atrocity when you lose all your income if you're the guy at the top? There's nothing to be gained. It would have to happen accidentally to destroy the earth, which is more likely because of our hubris, I would say. And once again, that comes from the Kurzweil thought. If you project out into the future, one of the possibilities is that we make the mistake of destroying ourselves, not by intent through war, but by accident because of hubris. What do you think about that, Jack?
How would that be hubris?
Oh, meaning like Marie Curie's
It's
accident.
such a derogatory term for something that's not a bad thing. Self-preservation.
Oh no, I was talking about the opposite of it. I was talking about the accidental destruction of ourselves.
Oh,
without
okay, never mind.
Self-preservation. But
I was
no,
half paying attention and half looking at guillotine videos.
you're still doing God's work.
I mean, it's turning into a sort of a morbid fascination now.
Oh damn! Oh damn! Are you actually? Never mind. I don't want to ask.
I'm sure.
Who lives closest to me?
Uh-oh.
Not me.
No reason.
Yeah, I'm stationed on the moon, Flo. So.
I do see patterns of good. I believe that the overall patterns of development, the laws of creation, we draw towards that which is good, which is better, greater than was. And, the patterns do show rise and fall. Where the world is right now, though, time has been speeding up. Time has been, through the amount of changes, the changes that are becoming and recorded, the changes we're aware of, that amplifies and seems to bring forth more change. That changes time. So time is speeding up. And to actually take advantage of the good, though, I don't know. I know it takes a choice. It takes a choice and the willingness within all of us. Hey, RT.
Sorry, I was trying for Sunday sermon background for you for a minute there, and I don't know if it was playing.
It didn't come through. But regarding oh crap, where'd it go? Oh, man, I had a point I was trying to. Oh, it's kind of a regarding the future, and even though we may have bleak outlooks, and it looks like humanity really does, we could wipe ourselves out. Maybe you and I wouldn't be involved in the choices, but there are people alive today, right now, who could make poor decisions and really exterminate the human
Yeah,
species.
it almost already happened. 1968, in just off about 500 miles off of Hawaii, a submarine from the Soviet Union at that time rolled up with a captain who didn't like the command that he was given to just do a recon and not go start a war. And he happened to have, taken aboard a crew that would go with him, not knowing that several of them were at the time KGB, now FSB agents. And can't remember
yada
exactly
yada yada. Hey Jack, real quick, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I just want to say, I felt like Tarek had really defamed me with that, because I said nothing derogatory, and that was some total bullshit. All I said was like, please, mister, I have no idea who you are, but please shut up. I'm talking to Jack.
Hey, Jack. So he just looped you back to 25 minutes ago. Just a heads up.
That was.
Hold on a moment.
Shut up, you dumbass motherfucker.
Please, RT. Please, thank you. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, Tarek, whatever that towelhead motherfucker said was so derogatory. All I said was in the chat was, hey, Moose, don't spend all your money on all these charities. You now have a young daughter. She's going to need your money later on in life. And Tarek made some derogatory comment that was so obscene. I just want to say that was such bullshit. So anyway, Jack, I mean, good grief.
Hey,
what kind of clowns do we have here?
RT, I don't disagree. I understand. Um, here's something to consider. I agree with what you said, that you offered a comment. This is a place to have fun, dude. There are so many insults.
I'm not having fun
so
right now,
many
bro.
things. I realize
I'm not
that.
Yes.
RT, I realize that.
Especially this
giving
other
you-
clown that's
Hold it,
that
RT.
attacked me earlier. This blah, blah,
Understand.
blah, 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 this dude. I have no idea who he is.
Hey,
He's a
RT,
clown. Yes.
RT.
Okay, go
Please.
ahead.
I'm trying to help you feel a little better.
Okay,
Hopefully.
please.
Okay.
Please do.
I believe you were having fun. Okay. You've been a part of this community.
I wasn't having fun.
Earlier.
I was sharing
Earlier.
a perspective.
Sure. Yes. Not expecting.
Nothing fun about it. Nothing
All
fun
right.
about it.
Fine.
Okay.
You were
Yeah.
participating without the
Yes.
expectation it would turn out like
Of being
this.
attacked. Yes.
Yes. I saw reactions that seemed to be making a bigger deal out of something that I didn't see as a big deal. I saw what you were doing. I didn't see you intending harm.
Of course not.
I heard.
That would be terrible.
Well, and I heard Tarek come up to bloviate.
He's an asshole.
Post
He's an
his
asshole.
chest, and well, he's
a total
revealing
asshole.
himself.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
all revealing ourselves. Okay. So RT,
Yeah.
I'm sorry
Whatever.
that happened.
You don't have to apologize. I'm just setting the record straight. That's all.
Yep, that's what I see. And
All right.
I
And this
appreciate
other goon who attacked me earlier, thinking I was a troll. Fuck you, dude.
Well,
I have no idea who you are.
Please.
I have no idea who you are, dude. So
Doesn't matter.
Kick rocks.
You're on a panel. I don't know who you
give
are.
a shit.
I
I
don't know that you
I
paid
would
the
never
full
want to
bill.
interact
Not
with
a-
you the way you attack me.
No,
So
but you
fuck
don't like
off.
the mirror. You don't like the mirror when it's
Aaron,
handed to you, sir.
Fuck you,
Please.
dude.
Please.
You are such a
You guys are
douche.
testing each other. We can and please, you can enable.
This guy has no idea who I
disagreement
am. I have no idea
for a
who
long
he is.
time.
I don't give a fuck. So
Why should
kick
I then?
ass.
Mirrors.
Hi,
do
Joe. Good to see you, Joe.
Yeah.
I'll change my
Hey,
avatar
Joe.
so I
Anyway,
stop
I'm
peeing
getting
on
out
you.
of here.
RT, thank you, my friend. We'll make it through this. We will make it through this. Welcome, Joe Cool. How you doing?
Yeah, missed the argument apparently, or whatever it was.
Oh,
It was not really.
stick
an argument.
around. We'll have more.
Everybody's been fighting except for Paul, who's just a passive little quiet guy over
I
there.
know. Paul's been present and quiet.
I'm afraid it's like Beetlejuice. You say it 3 times and then voila.
Yeah. Well, the topic needs now is love, sweet love. And Joe
I've decided to build a guillotine.
Are you going to build one?
No.
Oh.
But it would be fun, probably. Just like park it out at the end of the driveway.
Or use it on politicians.
Yeah, sorry there, Jack. If I'm being
I
a little
denounce
little too in
that,
character.
Joe Cool, that statement that you just said in public on YouTube, Joe Cool.
I tried to cut it off.
Denounce the fuck out of you.
There's that argument you were looking
Gotta be
for.
quick, people.
Joe Kim's in trying to scumbag people.
Very clear. I do not kill judges. David Jones out on the limb with that. I get him.
Denounce for shame.
I was just saying, if you're gonna use that guillotine on somebody, man, you'd have to start with somebody in the government. Right? You wouldn't do it.
I was just going to use it to cut
civilian.
fruit with.
Oh, I went there. My bad.
Hot dog chopper.
Watermelons.
That's racist, bro.
My
Hot
first
dog.
thought.
Oh, that was not racist.
You put something out there though, Flo.
Like white people don't eat fucking watermelons.
Do they?
It was the first food my daughter ate ever, actually. I remember that because she pooped out red watermelon, and my ex-wife thought that she was bleeding internally, which was the ditziest thing ever to think.
You know, I do moms out there, man.
I don't know.
You tell me, stop being racist in the chat.
No one's being
He said
racist.
he loves watermelon.
So what?
And by the way, that would be prejudice. I think we talked about this the other day.
Ah,
It's not any of those things. It's
I
Joe
know,
being
it's
weird,
not.
having his
Don't
weird
let him
hang-ups.
jacket you. Don't let it jacket you. It's not going to happen.
hmm.
I've seen you on panels that guarantee this man is equal opportunity mean. Just plain, you know.
Who's
Who's
mean,
mean?
Jack?
No,
Who's
you
mean?
equal opportunity mean.
Flo's mean?
No, just he is capable of cutting through some of the greatest bullshit on panels
That's
far
the
and
greatest
wide.
quality in the world, though, man. I'd be looking for 8 more motherfuckers like that.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
Just to get through your bullshit, it takes about 8 motherfuckers like that, doesn't it, Joe?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, son.
Oh.
Oh
I
man.
need 7 more for Joe arrogant ass.
No. You know, I do think a lot of us, what causes us to create our own problems to get in our way is we make mountains out of molehills. We'll let something small happen and it'll throw us.
Yes.
You know, we'll get off balance and
Yes,
start
yeah.
lashing out.
Yes, overreact.
Yeah.
I agree. That's a big problem with people, period. It's hard to communicate when you have to step on whatever the egg. You can't step on eggshells because everybody is so sensitive. Oh, you call me a what? What were you trying to say by that? You talking to me is hard to communicate with people like that.
So what do we do if our reactions have caused problems? You know? What if we do react to something, we make a mountain out of a molehill, we cause damage?
Very good.
Then what?
Well,
because that's literally where I'm at.
I think corrective behavior beats apologies any day.
Corrective behavior beats apologies. I agree.
Second.
Actions always. Yep.
I agree. Well, that's what I've been doing, and that's why I have a clear conscience. I know I've corrected the things that caused the problems in the past.
I didn't know when you asked that question, you were talking about something personal, but you shifting to something personal. It makes my fucking attention just go. Just so you know, it's time to
What is that? What does that mean? That noise you just made?
It's focus, zoom. You know,
Draws him in.
Yes. Now it's personal. Now I'm suddenly 10 times more interested. You know, I was just fucking philosophizing a second ago. Now it's actual, and you know.
I appreciate that. Yeah, just you're going from philosophizing into possibly application.
It changes the game. It makes your brain work. It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and admittedly, that's part of the reason I asked that question is if I humble myself to the truth. Everyone who separated themselves from me, they had a reason. And their reason,
at least in their head, yeah.
What's that?
I say at least in their head they did.
Yes. Yes. And everyone, the reason I can absolutely validate is despite my best efforts, I reacted. And my reactions came across as wrong.
Yeah,
that was the reason for them to push me away.
It's logical.
Yeah.
What have you been doing for yourself to change that? And what have you learned from that, Jack?
Well, I've learned a lot of things that, you know, what Jack thinks doesn't matter. What matters is what is true. And what is true, I offended
buddy.
when I reacted.
Hey,
So,
I just want to point out something.
Who you been working with? You been over there with Guru, motherfucker?
Hey, yeah, me and Nude Guru, yeah, we've been talking.
Who's that, Moose?
Yeah, what's up,
Yeah.
Joe? I wanted to point out how when a certain someone sent over people, the numbers rose. So, you know, no matter what you think The actions speak louder than words.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't even know what you're saying, but I think you're saying. I hope I'm wrong, and I'm reading too much. I'm assuming that you're saying someone sent some people over. Jack has reservations about him, which would make me think that they must be attacking Jack and giving him shit. And you're saying, don't worry about all that. Your numbers are higher. If this is the counsel that you're giving this dude,
I wasn't saying don't worry about it. I was just saying that the numbers did rise. They rose up and they've stayed steady. That's all I'm saying.
that
Pointing
sounds
out,
like
pointing out the
okay.
good side. I appreciate that.
I would actually say that is kind of a game plan of gathering moss on a rolling stone, because if they don't leave, then they're still here for the message, no matter how much they tell everybody else. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that fat girl.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I don't like my moped.
Yeah,
I
but
just
if you're
ride it
trying to
because I
have a
have to.
serious message and you get a bunch of fucking
Sorry.
clowns flying around, it detracts from the whole thing.
Yeah,
And that did happen for a little bit, but not too bad. the wrenches came out in force.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Well, order is found, and we're all learning. We're all learning how to get along with each other, and we're all learning if we should get along with each other. A lot of people
I don't
don't
think we
find
have a choice. I don't think I have a choice in the matter. There is a thing as you pushing me far enough away where you're doing damage to me, and I'll back up and give you that space. But I don't think there's any choice that I'm going to try and join with you, bond with you. I must, because of my dumbass philosophy that we are one. You are my brother, literally like I am my brother. If I abandon you, Jack, is the same as abandoning my brother. I literally believe that shit. So I am literally fucked, right? I literally believe this, and I don't think I got the option. As long as Jack ain't, literally physically trying to hurt me, you can pretty much get away with murder with me. You can call me all sorts of names, call me out, make videos about me, and call me the next day. I'll talk on the phone like it's nothing. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, watching Maverick. I do it all the time, bro.
Joe, you had to grow into that, though.
Yes,
it took you time, and
I got here where I was triggering and losing it and doing so many faux pas. I could teach a motherfucker very well, man. I went through it all, bro. I got beat up on the internet, and because, I was super popular, like the phenom type shit. Everybody, I didn't even know what a troll was, man. Motherfuckers, woo, it was Fields Day, bro. Oh, yeah, it was.
Wait, nobody told you about the trolls, Joe, before you
I
came
did.
online?
I didn't even know you could sub people and shit like that. I made a video, it went viral. I didn't make plans. If I had 1,000, I'd monetize. I didn't know nothing about none of that. I just made a video, put it on the internet, and then I learned all of that shit. I didn't know what a mod was in chat. I didn't know nothing, bro. True story.
And if I remember right, you do auditing stuff, right?
Yeah, cop work.
It was so that was one of the man. That's just asking for every.
A chick talked me into it. I was erasing my shit, and she was like, "You can use YouTube for storage," and I was like, "It's too much work," and I did it. I'm like, hey, it worked. She didn't explain public and private and all of that nonsense, right?
Yeah.
And no, motherfucker. I wake up with like 1,500 subs, and somebody's like, "Congratulations!" I'm like, "For what? What's going on?" I do nothing, bro.
And you're being attacked from every
And
angle.
I was getting niggas doxing me and shit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That was fucked up, bro.
So why? Oh, never mind. I know the answer.
By the way, your experience was mirrored by a number of big YouTubers back in the day when the edgelording came over from Twitch and the Twitch polls universe. When that gamer play swatting, etc. The doxing came over with the Kiwi vultures and such. But it really shocked them too. You were actually in a luckier position that at least you got to grow with it, and you hadn't already been on for a long time to just discover suddenly one morning half of your audience is trying to eat you.
Right.
Speaking of which, this takes me back to Jack. the accidental self-destruction or the dilapidation of great empires are very rarely done from outside, but rather from
So,
inside out. Lindsay, what's happening?
oh,
Hello. Hola.
why do you look
Almost
different
right,
from
yeah.
Zoom in?
Special Ops Lens reporting for duty.
What the fuck?
What? You didn't know?
He dropped me down here at the bottom.
He didn't
That's
want
good
you
because it
near.
was
He
getting
didn't
really
want
filled
you
up with
near
piss in
Lindsay.
here. I don't know why I have a sealed room. Sorry.
Continue.
We were talking about you, so we stopped when you came up.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It happens to everyone. As soon as you leave the room, boom.
Yeah, we can get started as soon as you leave.
It
No,
got
I'll be
quiet
glad
in
to
here
know
this
that I
time.
have new.
I know. That's,
Yep.
I just get high too much. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Flo, you're in the middle, just where you belong.
The way he normally is.
Shake weight.
He's the man in the middle.
Wait, did he just totally pose like that?
I'm
What happened?
laughing. Mo's busting out with the country song.
Okay, back to where you were.
I was uploading videos to use on my streams later. I don't know what you guys were even talking about.
Mostly you, in detail.
Last thing I paid attention to is how Joe snapped his attention over when it became personal instead of conceptual.
Right. Oh,
And once
then
it
Jack
became,
said some really cold shit, man. I don't even remember what, but I remember, woo, it was incredible. About how his reaction is probably so and so, and everybody in their head, everything, then that happened.
Oh,
yeah, I noticed when the sound when Joe heard the sound, it went personal. His care perked him up, and he joined right in. Flo heard it went personal, and he zoned right out as soon as it was on.
that's funny.
That is.
Actually, I zoned in to Joe to what to do Joe.
I caught his attention.
Yeah, because Joe always wants to know about the person.
Yes.
It's like the
You know
Velociraptors
what,
in Jurassic Park.
It's because I don't believe nothing that people say. Nothing. You could be like, but I'm telling you, my mom was in a flare plane pilot. I don't never believe. So I try to evaluate, is this the type of person that would say this and that? I be in my head with dumb shit. That's true, bro.
Hey, trust but verify. That is a thing.
Trust.
Isn't that a Ronald Reagan quote? That's funny.
Yeah, trust but verify is actually, I believe it comes from Secret Service, but yeah, it's a thing. And he might have said it out loud, but yeah.
Who said it? I thought it was Cheney at one of them clowns.
My dad used
Yeah,
to
one of
say
those
that.
clowns.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
Jack,
and no good deed goes unpunished.
True.
I'm going to pick on you. Just kidding.
Okay.
I want to
All right.
bounce my theory off of you. Not a theory, my thoughts.
Please.
Uh-oh.
Unless Flo wants to continue, because I think I just interrupted.
Nope. It's all you.
You know, why is it that women always want to drop their baggage on them instead of something good? Just kidding.
Be nice,
I don't
Moses.
think
Be
that-
nice.
This
Be
happened.
I was
nice.
just joking.
Be
Just
nice.
joking.
Oh, okay.
It was better when it was a sausage fest.
Okay.
No, I disagree.
No, we're
All I know is
was
it
just
smells a lot
kidding.
better now.
Even
But yeah, go ahead. No, let's go ahead and let's get into Jack.
No, I don't. I don't want to do that. I just
Nor
had
do
a,
I. Okay.
Okay, Flo.
What?
The ADD is acting up.
I'm here.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to pick on Jack. I want to know what you think of my theory,
yes.
or whatever it is. My thoughts on you. You are always talking about peace, and that you think that you're very positive, and you think that we have a chance to make the world better. That kind of thing. So what I was thinking, because I'm a contrarian, you know this, was as long as there's utility in war and in fighting, why would there be any impetus for peace? There's utility, to think of it, and Moose was talking about this, in and of itself, on having all the trolls in the room. for example, he said the number of people increases. It's funny, it's entertaining. So it's, I mean, and it's not going to stop. So we're just kind of rolling with it, right? But
You tell it.
there's no way there's going to be any kind of total peace anywhere here. I say here or ubiquitously, because there's utility in war. There's money to be made in it. There's drama. There's entertainment. And I know there's atrocity too. It's nothing to laugh at. But what do we do with that human factor in terms of meeting your goal of making things better?
We, with all honesty, I think we open our eyes to the truth. And the truth is there's utility in peace as well. It's just been set aside and kind of, we've prioritized profits and dominance and control and the illusions of safety and all that stuff over the utility of peace. Because if we were at peace, if there was
The utility of war is
going into what it could be again is kind of irrelevant at this point, because the reality is most people today, we have been taught and conditioned to where we're attracted to conflict. Conflict it's mesmerizing. We give up our thought and just pay attention. It's
a good distraction.
It's been
Well,
used.
Why do you
but-
think it's conditioning?
Because it's a natural part of ourselves that has been magnified and reinforced through the societal programming in the media, in the sitcoms, in the entertainment, in the people that we allegedly admire. All of these shows. I'm telling you, I don't think while I know there's a group of people somewhere on the top of this hierarchy of mankind, I don't think they actually have the individual intelligence to put all of these pieces together to maniacally, purposefully create this outcome. I think there's these people who have the agenda, just simple. They want to maintain control, their control, at no matter the cost.
Whether it's bad or good.
Yeah. And so the way to do that is to convince everybody else to believe like you. The people in top who have the power, they've conditioned the world that selfishness is how we're supposed to live, right? Take in the
individual
Darwinian.
has power?
Pardon?
Do you think the individual has power? Like, how much power would I have to exact any of this, or Joe or Flo?
In the
Seriously.
spiritual teachings, there is only the one, and if that's the case, when we as one individually unite with the Creator, it can change, allegedly. But I'm the belief that we are intended to be together, and so as we unite, the individuals unite together with God, with the greater power, and together we become stronger. We overcome together. Because you're right, one person, this is why I've been mocked and ridiculed, the idea of bringing peace. Well, if you saw me with all the other people who I've been learning from, all these other people who are bringing forth ideas of peace, you wouldn't see me alone. You'd see me with other people, and then it might make more sense.
I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not going to attack you, especially
I
since
appreciate it.
I got the reputation for that.
I don't think you've been
You guys are
attacking him,
talking
Lindsay.
about-
I think you've challenged the thoughts in meaningful ways.
Yeah.
And Joe put it the other day, without someone like Flo or yourself to challenge the thoughts, there would be a missing component of this. We'd be a hug box over here of conversation, and we'd be all patting each other on the back.
Really, what I'm doing is not trying to attack the individual. I'm looking
Yeah.
at the argument itself and
Yeah.
saying, hey, but wait, there's this.
That's
I
the
don't mean
fun
to-
part, right? There's the growth, right? If you do it around people who aren't sensitive and don't mind exploring the argument, you can have really bizarre arguments, and people will just go for the argument aspect as opposed to, why'd you bring Hitler? Are you comparing yourself to Jesus? You can feel free to just throw the argument out there for what it is.
Yeah, and that's that Fey weirdness of false association equivalency, false equivalency association, whichever way you want to put it. That people associate that weirdness or whatever they don't like to you because you're talking about it, which it also kind of suggests that there's a lot of folks missing some intellectual aptitude to me. And I hate to say it, but it is
say that a lot. I say that. I asked that question.
The bell curve issue.
Yeah, I mean, except and that's a big slope on that bell curve, by the way. It's a huge undermining slope. Anyways,
we get it, dude. You're really intelligent. You're lighting the world on fire with intellect.
Okay, and you're exactly making the example. Thank you for doing so immediately.
Paul.
Yeah, and Faye is a thing, and it's when people don't want to engage in the conversation about the philosophical topic, but want to make it about the person, aka what just happened right there.
Very good.
Yeah, it's good that we have him in here, right?
Paul's been quiet since I got in here. I don't know.
Oh, is this Snafu or Paul? I don't know. Can't tell.
No, Snafu's been taking part and very engaged actually. I'd say that Jack has had some major change for him, just like he got some change out of MC. And I think one of the things that I notice about this is that folks aren't really giving that the credit that it's due, which people are able to come here and have a conversation that they wouldn't otherwise because the other panels are argumentative and screaming. Basically, it sounds like an insane asylum to anybody who doesn't take part in YouTube. So for those folks that are doing those panels or in the DGG or any of those places that think they're having, qualitative arguments or debates, anybody who walks into the room, it sounds like an insane asylum. That's often why I'll mimic.
What exactly do you think this sounds like or looks like to outside viewers?
Well, when you pop in this way, it sounds like you're part of that asylum. Whereas we're actually having a philosophical discussion. I brought many solid minds in to listen and talk around Jack, and I don't think you'd even recognize who they were. And they're respecting the way that we're having this conversation. It's that each of us have our turn, we have our thoughts, and nobody's attacking the person. We're talking about the topics. The big difference in those conversations. Do you know that?
The attacks do happen here, but I think we do try and.
He's on point with what he's saying, though. I understand him.
I do agree.
I don't mind constructive criticism. What I don't like are the ad homs and stuff. We don't really need to go there if we're just going to have a discussion, unless somebody's being a huge dick and like Flo, and then you got to call them out.
Clearly.
No, hey, I'm open to what Paul has to say as long as it's not something attacky. Yeah.
So you're not open to what Paul has to say then? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well,
sometimes
we got to give him a chance,
Well, and here, guys, this is a little interesting. I think it's clear between Paul and I there is a mutual admiration, perhaps a mutual respect.
Jack, I just want to apologize. I haven't perfected the passive aggressive beta attacky approach yet that I see going on over here. So forgive me for my more direct approach.
Jack, I'd like to see you go directly one-on-one with this person in a conversation that alleviates some of these issues so we can get past it.
At some point it will happen. But today I'm not trying to press, and please.
It's happened 1,000 times before. It'll happen 1,000
I'd like to see you show up anywhere and do that simulation of you in a bar where you're going to scare someone out of saying what they said online.
Oh, I can show plenty of examples of that, my friend, in my life. He's basically trying to quote something from last night. Once again, attacking the person and not the topic. But okay, you keep repeating the same mistake.
Here, it's well, it is. We don't need to attack the people.
I like it.
Here, what I'm trying to offer, though, okay, while Paul and I have had our disagreements and our issues between each other, I really don't like seeing people fight on my behalf in front of me, if that makes sense. Okay, so everyone, for those who do have issues with Paul's not really being antagonistic here. Take the issues to him. He's
I was about to say I'm taking stock of the cats on panel. I got no issues with Paul. I know Flo apparently can't stand the dude, so he wouldn't be taking up the fight on your behalf. Lindsay, I think, is too
Right.
honorable to be taking it up. If she's got beef with him, it's hers. And
I
I
don't
don't know
hate
how
Paul. I'm
Aaron
just the
feels
only
about
one who seems willing to acknowledge that he's in bad faith. He's always in bad faith, and there's nothing useful for him from
it. I
I
him.
think
recognize it for
Aaron's
every day.
I
explaining it
disagree.
right now when he is saying he's attacking the person and not the topic. I think Aaron is trying to
Let's
express the
attack a
same thing right
topic.
now.
And
I don't know. Yeah. So how
And Jack,
about
on just so you know, from my point of view, you mentioned this the other day, and it's a boundary thing, where you already set that boundary. And frankly, as a friend of the panel, I will happily defend that boundary as somebody who stands here and
yes,
trolls
you're
don't
right.
bother me.
then why
for
are we
many
talking about it?
Yeah, because I mean it's because it's fun. I actually get a
Okay. All right.
kick out of bullying the
See, I
bullies because
told
they
you
always think
there's fun.
have always thought that they could bully me while
The bottom line is you're a bitch and you're online role playing, and we're just gonna leave it at that.
Okay, buddy.
We could all take that role. So we could all accept that a little bit.
I would ask, are you not role playing, my friend? Do you not know that we know the LARP? Silence.
You would never say that to his face in a bar.
Sure, I would.
Hey, we don't,
Sure, I would.
I want to ease the tension. Let's segue
The
to
sexual tension.
Shit, wait time.
Awkward
That's
silence.
sexual. I had to check in. Is there sexual?
Thanks for
there's
having
not.
me, guys. I'm not gonna be
Yes, I was trying to hide
Moose.
it. My
It
sexual
was
tension for
too much for
Moose.
Moose.
I have something else to say if you're tongue tied about the issue with the utility in attacking people and war and not getting along. To further my point, no matter how many people you have in a room, you're going to have contention. Consider that even that when you're by yourself, you're still having this fighting dialogue with yourself. Should I do this? Should I do? No, you would be a jerk to do that. And go ahead and do it. It's kind of funny. And you have this voice going on and antagonizing yourself and bargaining and discussing some kind of agree, disagree, kind of weighing things out. So if you can't even be at peace with yourself because you're busy arguing over any point or any decision you're going to make, how are we going to come together even with 2 people, 3 people, and 5 billion?
You're
That's
saying,
my argument with that.
I'm not sure what your argument. Are you saying that utility is a good thing? See the utility
Yes.
and what's going on? Okay.
Utility doesn't have to be good. It can just be something that's useful. And so I was arguing that there's utility and usefulness and negative things too.
That is said, yeah.
And that it can be fun and entertaining to have trolls or when Paul comes in and picks on Jack or whatever, and they kind of something makes me think they kind of have fun battering each other.
I agree, Lindsay. There's a great ability to show the mirror, or just show the difference, to show what works, what's positive,
and that is deep.
And what's negative.
Yeah, exactly.
So if we're doing this, I was trying to take the micro to the macro, meaning as individuals, we're not even really truly effective at dealing with ourselves and making the best decisions. This is my opinion.
I think you're right so far.
How do we do this on a macro level where we get the world peace and world unity? And your answer was God. And I'm not going to down that because I do believe in God.
Partially.
What's the other part?
The people. No. The education. You educate with the willingness and the technique.
Conditioning.
No. Well,
what
okay.
Works on a micro level? Possibly. It should work on a macro level.
Yes.
What works on a
we
micro
can't even
level?
agree on this.
What works on a micro level is eliminating
well, that's my fault, probably.
Becoming authentic, becoming honest, eliminating excuses and blame becomes more honest and whole. And that works on the individual level. When you've got people who are honest and whole, they're complete. They don't have a hidden agenda. They've got clarity in what they actually want and don't want in life. When you've got people like that together, there's a resonance.
How many people do you know that have that?
I know me, and I know there's others out there like me. I know you guys are very, very similar to me. And I don't think there's as much difficulty in having peace between us as we might imagine. We just haven't achieved it smoothly yet. But there's been periods, there's been times.
Well,
I don't
I'd
know if
actually
her
pause
point
it.
was the
I'm sorry,
We
Joe.
interrupted them. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead, Joe.
Well,
Jack
that was
was
about
talking.
it. We have times where we come together and we have peace. We have, when we're not focused on disagreements, we actually have some good conversations that develop ideas and thoughts together.
What about individually?
Individually, oh, now that's the other one. You mentioned the individual who goes off and can't find peace. I used to be that way, but I know I changed. I know I've heard others who have changed. So I know that others, even more people, can change. I found the way. Every one of us is going to have a different path, but if we all know the purpose, we can reach our own individual destinations of peace. And it's really, I think it's simpler than what we've been led to believe.
I think forgiving is a big chunk of the road to peace.
The
It's all
forgiveness?
those
Is that what you said?
forgiving. If we have all those expectations, we get our feelings hurt.
Yeah.
We could forgive motherfuckers for all of that.
No, that is a big deal in diplomacy as well.
It's just funny. Sorry.
If you talk, I'm saying no, it's okay. At the meta level, when you're talking about between nations, oftentimes these things that are in the ratifications are often, forgiveness for the sins of the past. Let's call it to sum it up.
It's necessary in sometimes in some respects to move forward.
It is.
Especially, you can't make a decision when you're holding on to shit. You can't make a good decision.
That's something that's very true. And we're going to have, each of us in our own lives, we've got to make these choices, these individual choices. What am I going to do? And what is important to me? And those two answers can change completely throughout our lives.
But they should always be aligned with each other.
Well, what am I going to do?
Cognitive dissonance will fix that, and that's natural too. So we're always, it's like life. You're always being bucked off the horse, and then you have to get back on. You get bucked off, you get thrown off, you hurt some of your limbs or whatever the issue is, and you pout for a while, and then you get back on. So nothing ever could be like a static. Maybe we mistake everything being okay as being static, and there is no static because everything is going to go like this. Everything is about chaos.
Stop blaming a horse. It's being a horse. Right? Stop blaming them for shit. That's what horses do.
Here, another part to the human experience is things are hard until they're not. Things seem impossible until it's done. And then you look back and what seemed impossible seemed like there's no way that can happen. Once you
That's
look
the
back,
game you play, Jack. By the way, the impossible. That's just what you do. You tell a motherfucker the impossible is possible. You say what's impossible is only possible till it's possible. Well, someone has to tell that person that these things are possible. Someone has to tell them those things, and that would be what you tell a motherfucker.
Oh, and that's a definite thing, man. So I'm involved with work groups that are like minds, creative minds, massive groups of people that have to put together other people's idea of art. And that is several things. One, it is like minds gathered together at a high level to do things well. And I think that that's how it works in the world. I think that people who have the same similar facets and interests and capabilities gather together. And if folks like us who are wild people, pirates and shit, can put together safe havens for creative experience and exploration, I don't see any difference than the scientists at CERN or those people that are studying.
What is the difference? Is
Cancer.
it money? You got to pay motherfuckers or be exclusive? What is it? Because Jack, at least theoretically, is trying to put that in right now. And you know, motherfuckers come in and feel like they get paid to fucking disrupt this motherfucker. People at CERN ain't got that problem because they pay motherfuckers, or is it because they're serious? I don't know.
I think it's because they're serious. Because I know plenty of those folks who,
Ooh, I like
most on either side, do the job at home and do it for
I
love
dig it.
because they are passionate about it. The same
All
reason why
right.
Jack does this. I think it's passion. That's the thing that tends to drive most people into being high functioning or doing better by others. Or you don't find, let's say, like I have a friend who went to Africa repeatedly to bring his medical skills to places where there were none. And that's not because he made any money, but because he was just passionate about helping people, and he knew that he could go somewhere and contribute.
He was a passport bro. He was lying to you.
Yeah.
Passionate about hunting elephants.
No such thing as a Norwegian passport bro, as far as I've heard. But yeah, I'll ask him.
That's funny.
You know, when you get to that place in your life, or some people don't, but some people do, where they almost die, or it's at a really low point in their life. Maybe they're in prison, maybe they've lost their entire family. It's, whatever it is, dirt bottom. And then they discover that things aren't really so bad, and that they can have a good life again, and that the things that they were so serious and so focused on and so miserable about, there's reprieve from, and they're not stuck there. There's an end. And then at that point you start thinking, oh my God, look at all the things I could do. As soon as I'm free, or as soon as this, or as soon as that, as soon as I, talk to my son, or whatever it is, whatever the issue is, I'll be just fine. Look at all the things I can do. Why can't we have that mindset
That's
when
a
we're
chain
just
I wouldn't want.
every day? Why can't we be like, look at all the things I can do?
Because if you're saying, oh, okay, maybe I'm hearing you. Maybe I'm a little wrong.
Why can't you get the same passion that you get when you're almost dead, and then they save your life, and then you realize, wow, I have so much to do. I'm actually grateful for my life. I was bummed out before, whatever it is, whatever the case is.
I'm 1,000% with you right there.
How do you stay there? How do you stay in that spot where you're like,
Personally,
I'm actually grateful?
I'm happy I'm happy all the time. I don't know how you stay there. I don't know the fucking answer. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm so fucking small expectations and stuff make me happy, right?
I'm
So
gonna take your
it's
legs off
easier.
now. How are you gonna feel? I'm gonna chop
If
your
what
legs
happens?
off.
Yeah.
I chopped your legs off.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna die? I mean, I'm giving an extreme example, but this is what things that actually happen to people. I hit you with my car. Sorry, you're in a wheelchair now. There's really things like this that happen to people. You go through. I'm sure you're going to go through all the stages of grief, like anger and bargaining and all of those
buried
things.
my old man last year.
Even if you're a very happy person.
Yeah.
And so my point is, if you were there, if I could get you to think of yourself as being there, which is actually not a pleasant thing, especially because we like you, and you are positive and you have a good personality, and then you think, God, I have nothing to look forward to. I can't even stand up. I can't do this. I can't do that. And then there'll be a day where you say, oh my God, look at all these things I can do. Look at these prosthetic legs or whatever. I can travel to Canada if I want to, or Africa, or whatever it is. You actually come to the point where you're enlightened and you think, look at all these things I can do. I am so grateful.
So I got to get my legs knocked off because I am there from the moment I wake up. I am the luckiest fuck in the world. I say that every day and really believe it. What are the odds? But I really believe, everything fall into place. God got all these plans.
Every single day?
Yeah, I think that all day, every day.
Legs.
Oh my God! If I have no idea. I imagine I'd be depressed, and I hope that at some point I'd get over and feel better. But,
I'm talking about that space that everyone has. It's a different situation for everyone. It's not the wheelchair example was just an extreme one, but something horrible that you've had to go through, and then you find your answers and you find your strength again. And
I would want the tinks, like the metal sort of spring things. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Yeah, those little
Yeah.
jumpy
Tink,
things.
tink, 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 tink.
What was that guy that had those? He killed his girlfriend though. That wasn't a good move.
I
That
disagree. Killing your girlfriend can always be a
Somebody
good thing.
encapsulate what Lindsay is saying, so I'm sure that I understand.
Tommy.
Here, that's actually what I'd like to
The
do.
thing about
Welcome,
this
Tommy.
panel is you've conveniently rounded up everybody I attacked today except Aaron M. Sound, who is irrelevant to me attacking.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
Oh,
And
so
I
you
have to
attacked
come
us
up.
all
I have
today?
to come up here to attack you, Jack, because I'm not gonna sub to your channel for 5 minutes just to chat on your channel.
Oh, you can't even sub for 5 minutes.
Well, that's not an authentic sub. So you're trying to
Nobody
say
gives
you'd
a
rather
fuck.
have some
Hey,
you'd rather
hey,
have some
Tommy.
fake
Actually,
ass sub for
That
5
means
minutes.
Tommy's
Tommy,
kind of
to deal with
earnest.
that.
I love
Hey,
that.
hey, Tommy. Thank you. And admittedly, I noticed that I'm no longer blocked from your chat. So I
Me neither.
endeavored to catch
I
your
told
stream,
you I
but
told you
Oh, I
3
am.
times. I rewatched that stream where you showed up to ask about it. I noticed I told you 3 times you weren't blocked and you still didn't get it by the time you left.
you claimed I wasn't blocked, and I
So you
repeatedly
call me a
showed
liar.
that I was blocked. But whatever. Okay.
Whatever is right. I got
Hey,
more
thanks for
I got
getting it
more
straight,
coming for
Tommy. You
you
get
and
to
more
be right
coming for
too.
your little
So,
dick daddy.
all right. So how'd your stream go today? Did you get us off of your chest, or you had it still to come and
I'm just
bring it?
getting started. I realized whenever your Father's Day massacre filled up my clips that I have to do episodes for you, just like I have to do episodes for your little dick daddy. But I'm gonna go ahead
That's
and
so
get started
sweet
on
of
his
you.
bitch ass.
Thank you,
Because he
Tom.
don't want to get in a room with me. He's a punk faggot bitch.
Oh, hey, we're moving beyond the ad hominems here today. Okay.
I'm not. I'm gonna hit you guys
We
for
all
weeks
work at
to come.
CERN today, bro.
I'm sort of
Why
with
don't
Tommy
you
on this
try
one.
and portray yourself as more than a garage living crackhead, Joe?
Hey, I want to come back to what Lindsay was talking about. She had a serious.
Lindsay's always talking about bullshit. She's
No,
stupid, and men
no.
that would sit around and hang on her nothingness are
Hey,
also
Tom,
Are you trying to make Tarek go fucking crazy?
that might.
Tarek's
Okay.
already crazy.
I'll take that as constructive criticism, and I'll put myself in the chat.
No, I appreciate Tarek's existence because before Tarek showed up, Lindsay was trying that bullshit with me.
Well,
like Flow State. Remember when I talked about the 2 ladies on call that would come to Colorado at any moment? Yeah, the second one was Lindsay, but she was trying to correct me.
all right. Hey, anyway, I'm not
Why
sure.
is your daddy so
Tommy is
quiet
the
where he doesn't have
instigator.
mod guard?
Tommy,
Because he's
Don't
just here to
worry
pull away
about it.
viewers.
well,
That's all he does. That's all he's got
let's
left.
not
Yeah.
let's not create narratives without.
I mean, that is the reason.
asking.
Let's not be pretend we're
There's
dumber than we
more-
are.
Listen,
Don't
listen,
create narratives.
Illumitranny, relax,
If we
okay?
don't create,
bitch.
if we don't create
Relax,
narratives, what would
bitch.
Paul have for a channel?
Here,
Answer that
A lot
one,
of-
big
Tom,
dick daddy. If you
lot of
couldn't
made-up
create
legal
narratives,
advice.
what's your channel?
okay, Tom, I'm
Are you
ready
gonna
to-
protect your daddy?
maybe.
Oh no, I'd say definitely.
Actually, no,
Kick
not
me
the
out now.
daddy, but I'm
Just
gonna
kick
respect
me out now.
my stream, Tom. I'm gonna respect my stream and my purpose.
What's
And
your purpose? I
recognize
think I covered that for you. Your beast system through and through.
I am beast system.
Yeah, see, now you expect me to explain myself. Whenever you pass through to give love and peace to the chat and panel before coming to start your own bullshit stream, I've covered a lot of why your beast system.
All right,
bullshit
well,
gets
tell you
there.
what, I'll go back and watch, and then I don't have to
Oh, I
listen.
hope you do. And when
All right, thanks, Tom. I love you, brother.
Can I sum it up for you, Jack?
What you got?
Well, it was just Jack. So that's about what it would sound like to me. I wasn't really listening very closely. So
Tommy's an interesting character. He brings up perspectives that
I want to
don't know.
confirm I got the same transcript here.
You got the
Yeah,
same.
we agree on something, Paul. Yeah. No, I am actually a big fan of Tommy, have been for a while. He is an agent of chaos in the most earnest of true ways. And if you're going to be that, be that. and more power to you. You know, that he doesn't go half-assed on it. So,
Hey, I wanted to come back to what the question that Lindsay was offering about, you know, how do you develop that practice? And Joe, I think Joe's honest. I think he is living that way, filled with gratitude. He's shared enough testimonies of that. Sounds like he's pretty consistent. And me too. This is what I realized, that scenario of getting your legs chopped off, losing whatever, becoming less than you used to be. And sometimes that getting put in our place, so to say, with hardships, it allows us to change our attitude.
Hey, maybe
And
this is the testimony Lindsay was looking for. I don't know if she's still here. But I remember when I stopped selling drugs and I had to earn money. That shit was rough. I remember yelling at the chick at the clinic. Like, how the fuck do motherfuckers make a living if you can't sell dope? What kind of world is this? I remember having that call. That was stressful to me.
well, the other side though, when I started objectively looking at my situation, in some ways that's what I felt happened. I felt by losing my job, losing my family, losing these things that I cared so much about, I thought I was done, right? And it wasn't my legs or something serious like that, but that's what I realized.
I wonder if that's not the type of stuff she was talking about. Maybe she didn't mean literally got to be your legs.
Well, she was painting the picture of, you know,
legs.
of it being real tragic and real life altering. But this is what I realized in my own practice. My pains, my losses were really insignificant. Physically, I'm fine. Mentally, I'm fine. I'm fine, right? I was never harmed. Neither was anyone else in my life.
That's damn near the gauge that I use now, especially when I'm talking to just people on the internet. Just was I harmed? It's not that big a deal. Even if I think I want to get outside of myself and act weird about something, I go to immediately to that. Come on, did it really hurt you? Your pride, ego, soft.
Yeah. So what I realized though is that my experience, while I felt like I went through all these major losses and shit, it was really a mind game. And I found my way.
You play a choice in it. You got to give it power or something, or you have a role in it. I agree. Yes, you can change it. It can be tragic or it can be not so tragic. Most of it depends on you and how you perceive a thing. Like I always get an analogy, and it's a bad analogy, but the one cat who has a flat tire somewhere, he's like, "Hey, I get to see the town," and the other guy is like, "God hates me." It's depending on how you look at a thing, man.
Yeah,
it is. Hey, I don't mean to throw a wrench suddenly, but we're coming up on 3 hours. I think it is time to wrap it up.
You're not doing the Jack. You're not doing the Jack Marathon for the Institute of Peace tonight. Come on, let's raise 50 grand.
No, not today. Today we're not in it for the money. We're just here for the fellowship and the fun.
There you go. There you go. We need to do that for you though, Jack. We need a storefront for Jack with a place where he can live in an apartment so he can be visited 24 hours a day by acolytes, and where he can raise meditation sessions and such, and speak his mind and share from a proper institute. I really think that he needs a space like that.
It's in development. All right.
Stop, cat. The cat won't let me X out, man.
Cute cat. Peace, Joe.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Flo.
Thanks, Flo.
Paul, do you care to have any last words? Thank you. All right. God bless you, brother. I respect that. I appreciate the company and the absence of unpleasantness. Honestly, thank you. All of you who joined the panel today, all of you who joined the chat. I realized we were the mods and I I accept my part with the mods. The mods did quite a bit of timing out today. And I know part of that was today was an interesting day. Today was a fun day. I want to thank everyone who joined sincerely. My hope for the topic, my hope for the thumbnail, right? Reminding us, lose yourself in the service of others. What does that mean to be in service of others? Honestly, I think it's to bring health, to bring healing, to bring strength, to bring encouragement, to bring life to others. And if we can bring life to others just simply through our care, our attention, our love, why would we not want to do that sincerely? Since it ran so long, I'm going to wrap it up quick. I want to thank you all again, sincerely. Brothers and sisters, check in again next time, because what is happening here with the land of Talcott, what I'm hoping to bring, I'm pretty clear about it. Fear exists in our life, and that fear comes up with, what am I going to do? What am I going to do if this happens, if that happens? Fear comes up when we feel like when we don't have the power, we don't have the strength, we don't have the control. But when we love, we open ourselves up, and it does come from a place of, it can create the feeling of being more vulnerable when we open ourselves up, being willing to love, willing to connect, willing to become a part of even our enemies. But if you can recognize even our enemies, every character, every man, woman, child alive today, right now, we are sharing this experience of life that was created by an intelligence and a force far greater, wiser, and older than any of us. Nature, the universe, the cosmos, creation, God. Till next time, thank you again, brothers and sisters, sincerely. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all.